Chapter 455. While Fong Ping was in closed-door cultivation, on the highway from Capital City to Magic City, a large bus was traveling at high speed. On the bus, there were more than 10 people, men, women, and children. At this moment, a chubby young man in the front row turned his head to look at a girl behind him and chuckled. "Susu, when we reach Magic City, let's go out and have some fun. I've been bored to death these past few years." Magic City is the most prosperous place in Sino Nation. The girl in the back row had a small braid. She looked young and petite, but her chest was bulging. If Fong Ping was here, he would probably compare her to Ling Yi. They were all about the same height. Look at how she looked like. The girl called Susu blinked and shook her head. "I'm not playing. We're going to spar." The chubby young man said indifferently, "Spar isn't important. Winning or losing doesn't matter. Jiang Chao." Before the chubby man finished speaking, a young man behind him said coldly, "Who told you winning or losing doesn't matter? If you have such thoughts, then don't go. Don't embarrass us." The chubby Jiang Chao listened to the man and pursed his lips. "I can't beat them. What do you want me to do? Which MCMU instructor hasn't fought in the catacombs?" As he said that, Jiang Chao added, "Yes, we've fought in the catacombs too. There's a rank 8 watching you from the side. We rank SXS need someone to back us up when we fight rank 5. Anyway, I don't think I can beat those desperados. What if I'm beaten to death in the arena?" The stern young man's cheeks trembled. He gritted his teeth and said, "We haven't even fought and you already know we'll lose? It's because there are too many useless people like you that people look down on us." Jiang Chao said lazily, "Li Fei, don't push everything to me. Also, I wasn't the one who suggested going to MCMU to spar. I didn't want to go there to fight anyway. If you want to be a spoiled brat, then be a spoiled brat. If you insist on showing off, what if you get beaten up? I heard that the guys in martial arts universities are not to be trifled with. No, the average ones are easier to deal with, but MCMU is not. Last time, those grandmasters from MCMU flew straight to Capital City and wanted to fight. Rank 8s wanted to fight Paragon. If I had known earlier, I would have gone straight to CCMAU. If you insist on going to MCMAU, they don't care who your ancestors are." "You." Just as the two of them were about to quarrel, the short girl said unhappily, all right. You're always quarreling. It's so annoying." And Fatty Jiang, you're not allowed to say that you can't win or admit defeat. I'm going to get angry if you continue. If he hadn't fought before, how would he know he wouldn't be able to win? Perhaps they aren't that strong. We all have our own absolute arts, top-notch battle techniques created by our ancestors. Also, our weapons and armor are the best. We'll only know after we fight, right?" Jiang Chao said lazily. "Up to you. Also, why do we have to participate in the youth competition? Damn, so annoying." Jiang Chao grumbled, "I don't want to participate at all. I just want to eat and wait for death." "What a good-for-nothing." Li Fei let out a humph and said coldly, "If you can't reach rank 8, it'll be hard for you to eat and wait for death. When that day comes, even if you can run, you're a rank 6. If you can't find a place to stay, you'll have to stay in the space capsule for the rest of your life. When you reach rank 8, even if you run, at least you'll be able to get out of the space capsule." Jiang Chao yawned and said, "Let's talk about whether I can run or not. I just want to enjoy myself first. It's fine even if I don't run. If they really fight, I'll just stuff myself to death. I'll feel good even if I die." Everyone in the car was speechless. This fellow, he had reached the limit of his ambition. Li Fei ignored him. Su Zissou, on the other hand, said unhappily, "You're not like Big Brother Jiang at all. You're a disgrace to your brother." Jiang Chao said unhappily, "Don't mention him. Susu, don't even think about that fellow. That fellow is a psychopath who kills for fun. I heard that this time he tortured and killed a rank 7 female high rank over there. It was especially cruel. All martial artists who kill catacombs martial artists are heroes." Su Zissou retorted immediately. She was starting to get annoyed. Jiang Chao scolded, "If he killed, then he killed. Don't you know what torture means? This fellow is really a psychopath. He'll be hacked to death sooner or later." "He won't." "Then we'll wait and see." Jiang Chao curled his lips and continued, "All right, Li Fei, if you're so awesome, why don't you go there?" Li Fei snorted coldly. "I'll go there sooner or later. Come on. How many years have you been saying this? If you're afraid of death, then be afraid of it. You just have to pretend to be a hero. I despise people like you the most." Jiang Chao said disdainfully. He chuckled and looked at a young man in the back who had not spoken all this while. He squinted his eyes and smiled. "Zheng Nanqi, I heard that your distant uncle, High Grandmaster Zheng, was beaten up by MCMU's vice-chancellor previously. You're not going there to seek revenge, are you?" In the back row, the young man in black retracted his gaze from the window. He turned his head to look at Jiang Chao and said lightly, "Do you think I'll seek revenge from a rank 8 Grandmaster? I'm not talking about MCMAU's vice-chancellor. I'm talking about that Fong Ping. I heard that this fellow is very arrogant. He's got your distant uncle in the palm of his hand. Do you want to go and get him this time?" Zheng Nanqi frowned. "He's only rank 5. Also, Grandmaster Zheng Minghong and my family are already very distant. Why should I seek revenge? He's said to have killed a peak rank 6 before. Don't you want to try his skills? To be honest, I'm a little vague about those instructors. But these martial arts university students are younger than me. I really don't want to be vague about them." Jiang Chao chuckled. "There aren't any rank 6 martial arts university students. Otherwise, I'd directly challenge them to a duel. I'm not afraid. How old are they? Even if they went to the catacombs, how many times have they gone down? How powerful can they be? No matter how little we've seen, our foundation is still there. Our experience might not be any worse than theirs. That's what makes it interesting. We'll challenge those instructors who have killed countless people." Sigh. The more I think about it, the more pessimistic I get. As these people were talking, a middle-aged man who had been silent all this while chuckled. "Jiang Chao, don't underestimate martial arts university students. Others aside, this Fong Ping you mentioned, he's ranked first in the rank 5 ranking list. His reputation is not undeserved. When you go to MCMAU, try not to look for trouble with him. This kid has a bad temper." "Bad temper?" Jiang Chao was instantly amused. "Don't tell me he dares to hit me?" Minister Wang looked at him for a moment. After a while, he said faintly, "As long as he doesn't kill you, then it's fine. He's a rank 5 martial artist and he beat you half to death. No matter how much Senior Jiang protects you, it won't be to this extent." Jiang Chao mumbled, "Minister Wang, I don't like what you're saying. I didn't say that I'm counting on my elder master. What I'm saying is, I'm a middle-stage rank 6 martial artist. Why would I be afraid of a rank 5? What are you thinking?" Minister Wang heard this and looked at him. Seeing that everyone else was looking at him too, he thought for a while and said, "You guys were the ones who suggested going to MCMU to learn from each other. Then, we should follow the rules and learn from each other properly. MCMU's instructors are all teachers. As long as you guys follow the rules, they will not be stingy with their guidance. You know, these instructors are powerhouses who fight on the front lines. Moreover, they have many years of experience in teaching martial arts. They are not comparable to those boorish men in the military department. Those boorish men can fight and kill on their own, but they are much worse when it comes to giving guidance to others. However, if you guys have the intention of looking for trouble or something else, then you should take it easy. It's true that MCMU doesn't have peerless powerhouses, but martial arts universities belong to the Ministry of Education. Minister Zhang will not allow MCMU to be bullied. Do you guys understand what I mean?" Li Fei frowned. "Minister Wang, you're thinking too much. That's for the best," Minister Wang said, then smiled. "Also, everyone should pay more attention to the youth martial arts competition. The competition this time is not for fun, nor is it meant to be a casual competition. Letting you fight is the will of the seniors. You are also the cream of the crop among the crowd. The seniors feel that the martial arts university students and the military department martial artists cannot represent their will. They believe in your immediate family, so they let you fight. However, if you really lose the competition, everyone, it will be a great loss." Jiang Chao said disapprovingly, "What's so great about it? It's just a spot in the restricted zone. I'm not going. If I lose it, so be it." The corner of Minister Wang's mouth twitched. Beside him, Li Fei and the others glared at him. He had no ambition. Moron. Idiot. In order to fight for these spots, how much did the elders in the front pay? If they really lost some, they would not be able to make up for it even if they chopped this guy to death. Su Zissou looked dissatisfied as well. She said angrily, Fatty Jiang, look at you. You'll never be able to woo me in this lifetime. Jiang Chao yawned and said, I didn't come out much in the past. I haven't seen much of the world. I haven't seen many beautiful women. That's why I had some thoughts about you. Now that you're out, I heard that there are beautiful women everywhere in Magic City. You really think too highly of yourself. Susu, when the time comes, don't be jealous of me when I get a beauty. You think that I'm not good now. When the time comes, you'll know that I, Jiang Chao, am a rare good man. When the time comes, go and regret it. Su Zissou was so angry that her face turned red. This bastard was too much. In the car, the other young men and women also started scolding one after another. All of them were targeting Jiang Chao. Jiang Chao looked indifferent. Scold all you want. I'll pretend I didn't hear it. Beside him, Minister Wang and another Grandmaster Powerhouse looked at each other helplessly, shaking their heads slightly. These guys, it was best not to cause trouble for them. As for the competition, there was nothing they could do even if they lost. If those seniors insisted on sending their descendants to fight, then they could only bear the consequences themselves. On one hand, these seniors wanted their descendants to be safe. On the other hand, they were unwilling to let their descendants become useless, so they wanted to train them. The catacombs was too dangerous. The other rank SXS were veterans who had been on the battlefield for a long time. They were not young either, so they could not provoke these young people. By organizing a World Youth Martial Arts Grand Competition, they could pull a group of martial artists of similar status, age, and strength to compete. They could gain some experience, and their safety was guaranteed. If they were defeated, they would have the motivation to cultivate well. Their efforts would not be in vain. The others were still better. They were still motivated. Minister Wang's gaze turned to Jiang Chao. This little fatty, he really had no ambition at all. He did not know how he cultivated to rank 6. Not to mention the top 5, he could seal a Sanjiao gate. He was not useless either. Why was he so unreliable? Minister Wang rubbed his temples, hoping that everything would go smoothly in this MCMU trip. He had met Fong Ping before. It was best for these guys not to provoke these troublemakers from martial arts universities. Last time, Fong Ping said he would screw Zheng Minghong in front of so many grandmasters. This kid was extremely daring. Nanjiang Catacombs and Magic City Catacombs had caused a huge commotion because of him. If they really pissed him off, he would not care who their ancestors were. Moreover, if they were really beaten up by Fong Ping, their ancestors would not have the face to say anything. The best resources, the best weapons, armor, in addition to the combat techniques that were most suitable for them. Their ranks were also higher than the other parties. If they could not beat him, then they were all useless. The point is, they might not be able to beat him, Minister Wang muttered in his heart. However, thinking about Fong Ping's personality that he understood, that guy was also a smart person. He would not go so far as to be ruthless. However, the kid who came this time had to be careful not to get screwed over before he could go back. They're all rich people. If I really get screwed over by that kid, it doesn't seem too bad. Minister Wang continued to murmur in his heart. Maybe I should take the initiative to find some trouble for them? The Ministry of Education was poor too. If Fong Ping screwed more, would there be any hope of splitting the profits 50-50? Fong Ping alone might not be enough. Should I call Li Hansong too? If 2 peak rank 5 were to fight these guys, no one would pick on them. Wang Jinyang's rank is a little low, only middle stage rank 5. He might not be their match. Should I call him over to try too? Minister Wang sank into deep thought. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that it might not be impossible. The Ministry of Education was poor, and so were the martial arts universities. They were all poor. These kids in the car were real tycoons. Even if they did not bring anything with them, with their status, their families would not go so far as to renege on a debt, right? Get a few dozen caddies of life essence, and some good stuff that can nourish mentality. Those seniors should have a lot of leftover goods on hand, right? Minister Wang had completely entered a state of fantasy. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that his considerations made sense. There were some things that the government naturally had, but there was too little porridge and too many people, not enough to go around. There were many things that the seniors could not use, but they could not let these seniors take the initiative to hand over these things. That would be too much. Which powerhouse did not have some private stashes? Sharing everything from the same big pot would not work. However, if their direct descendants lost something, they would not go back on their words, would they? McMao, Southern Area Library. Fong Ping said that he was going into closed-door cultivation, but he did not go to the energy room or the vitality pool. He did not need these anyway. This guy's closed-door cultivation was to read books, read information, read documents, and look at maps. Fong Ping had not been to the library much. In the past, he did not think that it was necessary, but after reading for a few days, Fong Ping suddenly realized that it was indeed necessary to read more books. About martial arts, about anecdotes and miscellaneous things, even some historical books and folklore, he could read them all. The location of the Sanjiao Gate can actually be done this way. I've learned something new. At this moment, Fong Ping was holding an ancient book with yellowed pages in his hands. According to this book, the location of the Sanjiao Gate did not necessarily have to be slowly explored and found by oneself. There was once a rank 5 powerhouse who achieved unity of heaven and man at rank 5, and the Sanjiao Gate appeared on its own. The so-called unity of heaven and man, according to the current understanding, was when one's essence, spirit, and spirit reached a peak and merged into one. It was almost the same meaning as rank 3's unity of fist force. When one's essence, spirit, and spirit became one, and vitality pierced through the sky, the Sanjiao Gate could be drawn out directly. Of course, the requirements were very high. Most rank 5 martial artists could not do this. If rank 5 martial artists nowadays wanted to find the Sanjiao Gate, they had to explore slowly, to sense, and then draw it out bit by bit. This was a work of art. Maybe I can try, but my control over my strength is too weak. I can't unleash my full strength now. Otherwise, with my foundation, I can totally do this. Putting down the ancient book in his hands, Fong Ping picked up another book and flipped through it again, muttering, Rank 7 honed the skull, rank 8 forged the golden body. I didn't know what rank 9 cultivates before. Now I know a little. Interesting. At that stage, can I still be considered human? Although Fong Ping felt that he was not considered human now, he had not completely left the category of human. However, rank 9 according to the book, he really could not be considered human anymore. Wu Chuan and these rank 9s can't reach what the book says at all. Is it because I haven't seen them unleash their true strength? Or are they really very weak? Fong Ping rubbed his chin. Now he felt that Wu Chuan and these people might be fake rank 9s. He had never seen a rank 9 paragon before. Maybe the paragon was what was recorded in the book. Also, Old Manly guessed that there might be many rank 8 golden bodies hidden in the sect world. It might not be fake. Some of the old antiques are still alive. Fong Ping murmured again. There was a book that recorded that an instructor in MCMAU had once met a suspected rank 8 golden body powerhouse on Earth. The reason why he suspected that it was from the sect world was because the old antiques had long hair and wore ancient clothes, different from the current martial artists. As for the catacombs martial artists, the probability of them sneaking into Earth was not high. It was difficult to hide that kind of powerhouse. The more I know, the more insignificant I feel. And I still lack a lot of key information. Why is no one willing to tell me? Fong Ping shook his head. In the next moment, a term flashed in his mind. Exchange group. I don't know, but what about those guys? If those guys were really the ones in the species conservation plan, these people rarely appeared in the open. They mainly cultivated, so they might be relatively simpler. These guys, could he trick a few of them to leak some information to him? Also, these guys should be very rich, right? At this moment, Fong Ping's thoughts were suddenly the same as Minister Wang's. With an old ancestor like Niu Tian, his family should be very rich. Trash in the eyes of a rank 9 paragon might be a treasure in his eyes. Back then, when he was still not a martial artist, Fong Ping treated a normal vitality pill as a treasure. Now, if a normal vitality pill fell on the ground, Fong Ping would probably pick it up, but he would not feel anything if he gave it away casually. If he was like that, those top-notch powerhouses would probably be like that too, right? Looks like it's necessary to communicate with these people. Fong Ping rubbed his chin. Previously, he did not really want to pay attention to this exchange group. It would be better if he had the time to cultivate himself. Messing around with these people was a waste of time. But now, maybe it was really time to meet them. The purpose of cultivating combat techniques is still to control power. This can't be rushed. Maybe fighting a few battles with people with all my strength is where my opportunity to advance to rank 6 lies. Chapter 456. March 18th morning. At the entrance of MCMEU's auditorium, Old Manly glanced at Fong Ping. After a while, he said, "Aren't you in closed-door cultivation? So, you've only been in closed-door cultivation for a few days? You're in closed-door cultivation on the 14th. You came out yesterday. You call this closed-door cultivation?" Fong Ping chuckled. "Instructor, powerhouses don't come out of closed-door cultivation." Old Man Li was speechless. After thinking for a while, he said, "Don't cause trouble." "Instructor, why would you have such an idea?" Fong Ping looked surprised. Old Man Li sighed, saying desolately, "Kid, the old ancestor is very powerful. He can kill me with one breath. I can't take it. Do you understand?" Fong Ping raised his eyebrows. He did not reply. Instead, he asked doubtfully, "So exaggerated? Kill you with one breath?" Old Man Li was not the kind of person who was humble. "What do you think?" Old Man Li helped to explain. "Do you think Alliance leader Zhao Xingwu can kill me with one move?" Fong Ping thought for a while. "Not necessarily. Maybe 3 to 5 moves?" Old Man Li laughed. "Probably about the same. Alliance leader Zhao is ranked 48th among rank 9. Speaking of Mayor Nan, do you think she can kill me with one move? That should be about the same. If she meets a rank 9 paragon, she probably can't take 10 moves. That scary? It's that scary." Old Man Li nodded, saying seriously, "Of course, I've never seen a paragon fight. I only heard it from others. But Wu Chuan, that old fellow, said once that there's a huge gap between everyone. Guardian Wu. I feel like I've embarrassed the 4 big guardians." Fong Ping mumbled softly. "For big guardians. 2 of them were top-notch powerhouses. One was a powerhouse ranked 18th globally. When it came to Wu Chuan, he was almost out of the top 100. As soon as he said that, a few people next to him looked at him strangely. "Kid, you dare to look down on rank 9 powerhouses? Wu Chuan is not here. Otherwise, he can kill you with one slap." Old Man Li glared at him impatiently. He said, "Wu Chuan is considered young among rank 9. He still has a lot of potential. What's more, the divine armament he uses isn't much. It's only at the 8th grade, so it seems a little weak. The others who are ranked above him all have 9th grade divine armaments." The moment he said that, Luo Yichuan and the others felt a little uncomfortable. Old Man Li's ego had swelled too. An 8th grade divine weapon, in his mouth, became nothing much. "Have you?" Even if it was a level 9 expert, not everyone had one. Old Man Li did not care too much about what he had said. He said, "Also, don't provoke Wu Chuan. He's the only rank 9 great grandmaster in MCMEU for so many years. For MCMEU to be able to develop to this stage, it was also related to some of his support. Ever since he became the South Guardian, the relationship between the South Guardian House and MCMEU has always been very close. If one of the 4 Guardian houses supports MCMEU, then MCMU will have enough confidence. Do you understand?" "Understood. MCMU's biggest backer is Guardian Wu?" Old Man Li laughed. "You can't say that. The Department of Education still supports us. No matter how fierce the fights between martial arts universities are, it's all internal affairs. To the outside world, our martial arts universities are still one and belong to the Department of Education. Against schools like CCMAU, the South Guardian House is one of our trump cards. However, against other departments or sects, the Department of Education is our biggest backer. Do you understand?" "Understood." Fong Ping nodded. This was not strange. It was normal for there to be many mountains. After a brief chat, Old Man Li returned to the main topic. Let's not talk about this. I'm saying this because you, kid, don't give me any trouble. Do you understand? Fong Ping looked helpless. That's strange. I didn't say anything about giving him trouble. Besides, their ancestors are so awesome. Why would I give them trouble for no reason? Instructor, I'm here to receive the exchange group. As the president of the Martial Arts Society, this is basic etiquette, right? Old Manly glanced at him and did not say another word. After a while, Old Manly said, They're here. In front, a bus had already entered the school, driving slowly toward them. On the bus, the exchange group had arrived in Magic City yesterday. After resting for a day, they arrived at MCMU today. Zhang Chao looked around through the window. He was a little bored. MCMU isn't lively enough. I don't see many people. Minister Wang chuckled. Why do martial arts universities need to be so lively? Zhang Chao did not say much. He said, Since we're here, are we going to challenge them directly? There's no hurry. Let's take a look around MCMU first. Minister Wang chuckled. The few of you have never been to a martial arts university. Although MCMU was not established as long as CCMU, it has developed very quickly in recent years. It also has its own unique points. Everyone should interact more with your peers. As soon as he finished speaking, someone on the bus suddenly frowned. So weak? Only rank 1. Isn't MCMAU the top elite school? At this moment, a few students passed by near the bus. Sensing the strength of these students' vitality, someone could not help but say, Rank 1. For them, it seemed like a very distant thing. Among these people, some had broken through early, becoming martial artists at the age of 11 or 12. There were even those who entered the middle ranks at the age of 15 or 16. Today, these people were not even 30 years old. The older ones were 27 or 28 years old. The younger ones like Su Zissou were only 24 years old. Although they were a few years older than the MCMAU students, there was still a world of difference between rank 1 and rank 6. Minister Wang smiled faintly. After all, MCMAU is only a school that caters to students from all over the country. Most of the students are not martial artists when they enter the school. This is different from everyone else. Rank 1 students are very normal. Do you think everyone is like you? Life essence that even Grandmaster's treasure is used to nourish the bones? Not everyone did not understand this. Su Zissa said, Some of the people in martial arts universities are very powerful. I heard that Fong Ping was not a martial artist 2 years ago. Now he has broken through to peak rank 5. Uncle Wang, is that true? Indeed. Minister Wang smiled. It's not just Fong Ping. The other people in martial arts universities are also very good. NMU's Wang Jinyang only used 3 years to go from aspiring martial artist to rank 5. Li Hansong took 4 years, but he was already rank 1 when he entered the school. Yao Qingjun is almost the same. With that said, the few Yus in the car were not as arrogant as they thought. They entered rank 5 in 3 to 4 years. They were not as weak as they thought. Zhang Chao calculated for a while and said suddenly, peak rank 5 in 2 years. How did this guy do it? I started martial arts when I was 10, entered rank 1 at 14, and rank 4 at 18. Rank 5 at 20, peak rank 5 at 22, and now he's 26. Minister Wang smiled. These people are able to stand out among so many people in Sino Nation. Naturally, they have something special about them. Also, martial arts university students are in the golden cultivation period. It's normal for them to break through faster. Although he said that, Minister Wang's heart was screaming that it was not normal. Not everyone was like this. Do not take the minority to mean the majority. In less than 2 years, Fong Ping had broken many records from aspiring martial artist to peak rank 5. Although Zhang Chao and the others were young and had extremely high ranks, it did not mean that they could break through in a short period of time. They had been in contact with martial arts for a long time. They had been practicing since they were young. As for injuries to their bodies and bones, they did not have to worry about them. They were unlike others who had to consider these things when they were young and did not dare to cultivate excessively. After a few words, Zhang Chao poked his head out of the car window and asked, Minister Wang, Is Fong Ping in front? Minister Wang did not have to poke his head out. He smiled and said, yes, he's the youngest one. That's him. He doesn't look that good. Zhang Chao said casually. Li Fei frowned and said, look at yourself first. Besides, martial artists don't care about looks. This guy's considerations were very different from everyone else's. Who looked at martial artists, especially male martial artists, the first thing they considered was their looks. Su Zissou also poked her head out and saw Fong Ping in the crowd. She grinned and said, he's okay. He's quite handsome, but he's different from what I imagined. I thought he was a cool, handsome guy like Zheng Nanqi. At this moment, Fong Ping in the crowd was full of smiles. When he saw someone observing him on the approaching bus, he smiled and nodded. He smiled brightly, but Old Man Li gave him a light kick from the side. When this kid smiled, it was usually not a good thing. It was a good thing that he was not polite to people. Fong Ping did not bat an eyelid. He maintained his smile and said in a low voice, Instructor, why did you kick me? Show the demeanor of MCMAU and welcome people with a smile. Old Man Li snorted but did not say anything. When the bus stopped, Old Man Li brought his people forward and said with a smile, Minister Wang, President Liu, welcome to MCMAU for the exchange. Changsheng, you don't have to be so polite. Minister Wang got off the bus and said with a smile, Dean Liu isn't in school? Yes, but he's still consolidating his realm. Then please congratulate him on my behalf. He's finally broken through. I'll definitely bring him to. The few grandmasters smiled and conversed. After a while, Minister Wang turned his head and said, This is Dean Li from MCMU School of Weaponry. This is Dean Luo from Combat Finger School. After introducing everyone for a while, when he saw Fong Ping, Minister Wang smiled and said, You young people, I won't introduce you to each other. How about this? I'll have a chat with Dean Li and the others about the exchange. Fong Ping, bring them to MCMAU for a tour. They're all young people. I think they'll have something in common. Fong Ping noticed that the young men and women across from him were sizing him up. With a friendly expression, he said, All right, Minister. You guys go ahead and chat. I'll show my seniors around. Okay, we'll go in first. After Minister Wang and the others left, Fong Ping chuckled and said, Hello, everyone. Let me introduce myself first. Before he could finish, Zhang Chao interrupted. You're Fong Ping? Yes. I wonder how I should address you, senior? Zhang Chao, middle stage, rank 6. Su Zissou, early stage, rank 6. Li Fei, upper stage, rank 6. Zheng Nanqi, upper stage, rank 6. There were a total of 10 young people present, 7 men and 3 women. Among them, there were 5 early stage, rank 6, 3 middle stage, and 2 upper stage. This strength looked impressive, but in reality, Fong Ping did not really care. He thought that there would be peak rank 6, but there was none. Martial artists who had not reached peak rank 6 in other stages of rank 6, in order to seal the Sanjiao Gate, it was actually very difficult for them to go all out and use all their strength. He was still a little wary of peak martial artists. However, the strongest one was only upper stage rank 6, which was nothing. After they were done introducing themselves, Fong Ping still did the introductions, saying, Fong Ping, peak rank 5. When young martial artists met, it was not considered showing off to introduce themselves to each other. After the introductions, Su Zissou asked curiously, Fong Ping, did you really start practicing martial arts the year before last? Yes. You've killed a peak rank 6 martial artist before? Fong Ping quickly denied, saying, How is that possible? I'm no match for a peak rank 6. Of course, the other party did die in my hands. It's probably because the evil sect martial artist was too weak, probably a fake peak, or he was injured before the fight. I see. As soon as he said that, these people breathed a sigh of relief. Zhang Chao chuckled and said, That's what I said, but it's still not bad. Even if that guy was injured, you can still kill him. Your strength is still not bad. Fong Ping smiled and said, I can't compare to my seniors. You're all rank 6 and Grandmaster is in sight. I'm still far away. Senior brothers and senior sisters, let me show you around. Everyone nodded slightly. Fong Ping walked in front, smiling as he walked, saying, I'll bring you to the southern area first. That's where the essence of MCMAU is. MCMU's energy room and vitality pool are are famous in the country. As he said this, Fong Ping revealed a proud expression. As he said that, he turned his head to look at the crowd and said, "Seniors, have you cultivated in these facilities before?" This guy's expression was as if they had never seen these facilities before, which made them frown slightly. In the crowd, a woman could not help but say, "Energy room? You mean those cultivation rooms that burn energy stones?" "Yes, Senior Sister Lu knows about it too." The woman called Senior Sister Lu pursed her lips when she heard that and said lightly, "I've seen it a few times. It burns some low-grade energy stones to assist in cultivation, and there are many impurities in the energy. We don't use this. We have a martial arts building over there, and it's built with rank 9 energy stones." "Rank 9 energy stones?" Fong Ping raised his eyebrows and said with some surprise, "Energy stones are divided into grades?" The woman named Lu said matter-of-factly, "Of course. Energy purity below 10% is raw ore. 10% to 19% is rank 1 and so on. 90% to 99% is rank 9. Actually, there are 100% purity, but it's very rare. That's the ultimate grade." As the woman named Lu said this, another person in the crowd laughed and said, "There aren't many energy stones in martial arts universities, and very few people sell them outside, so they're generally not divided into grades. It's normal that you don't know." Fong Ping's expression did not change. He continued to laugh and said, "So there's such a saying. I've learned a lot." Senior Sister Lu said that you have a martial arts building built with rank 9 energy stones over there. As Fong Ping said this, he said with a face full of envy, "How many rank 9 energy stones would there be? A few thousand caddies, right?" The woman named Lu glanced at him. This time, she really had the urge to laugh at him. However, she was a rank 6 martial artist after all, so she did not show it. She smiled faintly and said, "A building weighs a few thousand caddies? That was moved back from Mount Royal Sea by a few ancestors. They dug out a few mineral veins. No matter how light it is, it's at least tens of thousands of caddies." "So much." Fong Ping's face was full of shock. He was really quite shocked. There was no disguise this time. CK, these people were really rich. He used to measure energy stones in grams. Later, he used caddies thinking that it was very, very impressive. Even grandmasters were not as rich as he was. But now there was a building over there that was built with cultivation-aiding energy stones. In units of 10,000 caddies, he might as well say tons. He had risked his life to dig a few times under the royal city, but he had not dug out many cultivation-aiding energy stones, which were what they called rank 9 energy stones. But now, they had already started to divide the grades. There was really no need for martial arts universities to not divide grades. There were too few of them, so dividing grades was meaningless. The people did not even know how to divide grades. Most people had never seen it before, so what was the point? Fong Ping said enviously, "I really want to go take a look. I wonder if Senior Sister Lu will let me take a look? It's not far from here. Outsiders are not allowed to enter over there. Besides, you can't go in anyway. A few ancestors have sealed off that place." "I see. I thought I would have the chance to take a look." Seeing Fong Ping's face full of envy and shock, a few people in the crowd smiled. Did he really think they were country bumpkins who had never seen anything good? Energy room, vitality pool? Perhaps only you would treat them as treasures. Fong Ping did not seem to give up. He said again, "If that's the case, then I'll bring everyone to visit our reserve warehouse. There's a rank 7 monster carcass there now. We're preparing to use it to forge a divine weapon. This is a rare treasure." Before he finished speaking, Jiang Chao, who was beside him, yawned and said, "Oh, a divine weapon? You mean this?" As he spoke, Jiang Chao kicked his boots casually and shook his head. Before reaching rank 7, a divine weapon can only be used as a normal weapon. It's not very useful. When we went out, each of us brought a divine weapon. This pair of boots is a rank 7 divine weapon, a middle stage rank 7-1 at that. However, it's only slightly better than A-class alloy boots. There's not much of a difference. Fong Ping was shocked. "You all have divine weapons?" Su Zissa giggled. "Yes, but Fatty Jiang is right. It's not very useful. It's only slightly better than A-class alloy weapons. However, we don't have mentality-vitality fusion, so we can't nourish it. She was still talking, but Fong Ping lowered his head as if looking at Zhang Chao's boots. At this moment, no one realized that Fong Ping's eyes had turned red. F***CK. 10 divine weapons. These 10 fellows in front of him were not humans. They were moving mountains of gold. If he did not strip them naked, would he let them leave MCMAU? That was true. They were only rank 7 monsters. If they met their ancestors, they would not even have time to react and would be shocked to death. It was not difficult for those people to get some divine weapons for their own children and grandchildren. Comparing oneself to others could really anger one to death. Seeing that Fong Ping seemed to be a little disappointed, Li Fei, who was in the crowd, gave the others a look. Forget it. Let's not hurt this guy. Before this, they had thought that as the top martial arts university student, he would more or less amaze them. Now it seemed like he was just an ordinary person. Was he shocked by a rank 7 divine weapon? Chapter 457. Fong Ping was silent for a moment, as if he had been dealt a blow. Soon, however, Fong Ping smiled and said, "I've embarrassed myself in front of everyone. I thought I was one of the most outstanding people among the younger generation because I was invited by the World Youth Martial Arts Tournament participants for an exchange. However, I wasn't one of them. I was a little jealous of everyone. Only now do I understand that I am ignorant and inexperienced. Today, I understand that there is always a higher mountain. Thank you, senior brothers and sisters, for teaching me a good lesson. This might be an important step on my martial path. Thank you all." Fong Ping's face was sincere. He no longer wore a fake smile. His eyes were clear as he said, "The martial arts journey is exciting. I, Fong Ping, was blinded by a leaf and underestimated the heroes of the world." As soon as these words came out, the few people who were frowning before were relieved. Su Zissa giggled. "I see. I knew it. How could a rank 5 martial artist in 2 years be like this?" "Fong Ping, it's okay. We understand now that you said it." Zhang Chao also laughed. "A villain is better than a hypocrite. You're quite interesting." Fong Ping smiled bitterly. "I was dealt a blow, but this is good. I'll be more motivated on the martial arts journey in the future." Beside him, the cold Jiangnan also said, "You're better than the rumors say." "Rumors?" Fong Ping chuckled. "Senior Zheng, if you don't mind, can you tell me what kind of person I am in the rumors?" Zheng Nanqi said lightly, "You don't know the immensity of heaven and earth, cunning, despicable, and shameless." Fong Ping looked helpless. He did not know whether to laugh or cry. "Senior Zheng, there's such a rumor?" Fong Ping, haven't offended many people. Is there a need to slander me like this?" Zheng Nanqi did not say much. This was what Zheng Minghong's grandson had told him. Of course, that kid was still someone of the same generation as his nephew. But it was fine to listen. Now it seemed that MCMU's Fong Ping was not like that. Although he felt uncomfortable before, at least he was honest enough. Fong Ping did not care about this. Although he wanted to kill him with a hammer, he still smiled and said, "Then let's not look at these things. Let's go to NMEU to see the scenery. MCMEU sea view is not bad. We can relax. What do you guys think?" "Sure." Everyone nodded. They were indeed not interested in the cultivation facilities or whatnot. Looking at the scenery wasn't bad either. Seeing this, Fong Ping took out his phone and made a call. He smiled and said, "Clean up the southern area. Don't embarrass MCMAU." MCMAU southern area entrance. Zhang Yu frowned slightly. After a while, he said, "Is Qin Fengqing suitable?" Qin Fengqing asked lazily, "What's wrong?" Fong Ping doing this. Isn't it a little inappropriate? Qin Fengqing sneered. How is it inappropriate? Tell me, did we rob them? Zhang Yu shook his head. Did you steal from them? Zhang Yu shook his head again. That's it. I didn't steal or rob. What's wrong? Qin Fengqing rubbed his big bald head and said indifferently, "Do you think he cares about such a small amount of money? Of course, it's their ability to be rich, but we also rely on our ability to make a living. It's not like we're robbing them. Didn't Minister Wang ask us here in MCMU to give them more opportunities to gain experience? Let me ask you, does the ways of the world count as training? Zhang Yu paused. After a while, he said, "When did you become so talkative?" "Nonsense, I've always been talkative," Qin Fengqing said, sounding a little pessimistic. "It's just not as good as Fong Ping. This guy's really black-hearted. He insists on playing the good cop and making us play the bad cop. Who knows how many benefits he'll share with us in the end." Zhang Yu also smiled bitterly. "I actually hope that the exchange team members are smarter. If they're too stupid, I'm afraid that in the end, they'll still be helping to count the money when they're sold. Then it's none of our business." Qin Fengqing looked indifferent. At this time, his phone rang. He picked up the call. Fong Ping's voice came through the phone. "Clean up the southern area. Don't embarrass MCMEU." "Understood." After hanging up, Qin Fengqing grinned. "Especially rich. We can earn a lot. You guys, cut the crap. Remember to cooperate well later. Otherwise, don't blame me for not reminding you if you're sold by Fong Ping." Zhang Yu was helpless. If he had known, he would not have come out of closed-door cultivation. Fine, it was for MCMU after all. To put it bluntly, it was indeed a waste of good stuff in the hands of these people. If they went to MCMEU, perhaps a lot less people would die and more catacombs martial artists would be killed. Of course, the stuff belonged to them after all. It was also obtained by their fathers' bloody battles. Envy and jealousy could be had, but hatred was unnecessary. We're stronger. It's also for the sake of humanity. Everyone's goal is the same, Zhang Yu comforted himself. Moreover, they were only saying a few words. If the other party really did not take the bait, then there was nothing they could do, right? At the same time, Fong Ping led everyone to the southern area. On the way, Fong Ping glanced at everyone from the corner of his eyes. At least 10 divine weapons. Quite a lot of rank 9 energy stones. An inner armor? I'm afraid it's made from high-ranked demon beast leather armor. There are quite a lot of energy fruits. F***CK. This fatty is eating them as snacks. Too extravagant. While Fong Ping was still estimating their wealth, Jiang Chao seemed a little bored. He took a few fruits from a small bag and ate them as snacks. Those were energy fruits. Fruits like the 100 honing fruit and divine fruit could all be regarded as energy fruits. Of course, the fruits that Jiang Chao ate were slightly inferior to the 100 honing fruit. They did not have as much energy, but for low-rank martial artists, they were still extremely precious treasures. They're really rich. Too bad I can't rob them. They have to take the bait. If they don't, the big fat sheep will run away. Fong Ping muttered in his heart. These prodigal sons actually had good temperaments. Perhaps they did not think it was necessary, but they did not bully Fong Ping just because he was an eyesore. They did not take the initiative to bully him. Under normal circumstances, Fong Ping would not pick on them for no reason. But MCMU was really poor. Lu Fengru was still lacking a divine weapon. She had to think of a way to get one for Tang Feng. It would be best if Old Man Li could get one too. That would make 3 divine weapons. Where could he get them? MCMEU instructors going down to the catacombs to kill demon beasts was no laughing matter. Last time, Huang Jing had almost died. Luckily, Jiao was a demon. I'm sorry. We're not trying to bully you. These things might not be of much use to you, and we don't expect you to go into battle to kill the enemy. Just think of it as us borrowing it. When MCMEU gets rich, it won't be too late to return it to you. Their ancestors were all top-notch powerhouses. It was not difficult for them to kill rank 7 demon beasts. Of course, they could not go on a killing spree, or a war would break out. However, in the hands of these fellows, divine weapons were not very useful. They were only slightly stronger than A-class alloy weapons, and about the same as random sabers. If they were not rank 7, it would be a waste to use these. If we kill more enemies, you'll be safer too. It's also for your own good. Fong Ping found an excuse for himself in his heart. It was as if he had removed himself from the role of a bandit. Also, it's to give you more experience and lessons. It could be considered as paving the way for your growth. When I think about it this way, I'm very great. Fong Ping convinced himself. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that he was great. For the safety of the instructors, for the growth of these people, He was not doing it for himself. Just as Fong Ping was thinking about this, Jiang Chao, who was eating an energy fruit, asked, Fong Ping, is the Magic City Catacombs fun? Fong Ping was stunned for a moment. His expression turned slightly cold, but he still smiled and said, it's all right. Fun? The catacombs were not fun. Before this, he had thought that it was inappropriate to rob these fellows for no reason. Now that he had robbed them, so be it. How could the catacombs be fun? In the Magic City Catacombs, countless martial artists had died in battle over the years. In MCMU alone, 4 grandmasters had died in battle, and thousands of middle-ranked martial artists had died. The 3 lower ranks were not a small number. It was true that these people's ancestors had fought bloody battles, but these fellows treated the catacombs as fun as a joke. That was not fun at all. Perhaps in their eyes, the catacombs were indeed like this. It was only a little fun or not, and did not have the sense of danger that other people had. The others did not show any unusual reactions. Indeed, these people did not feel the cruelty and tragedy of the catacombs. They rarely went to the catacombs. Even if they did, they would go to the catacombs that were safer, and there would be people to protect them. They had no choice but to protect them. If these people died in battle, it would not be a small matter. Fong Ping had joked about a one-day trip to the catacombs, but these people really treated it as a one-day trip. That was a completely different feeling. This had nothing to do with one's temperament. It was related to everyone's different experiences and knowledge. It's all right. Fong Ping, do you guys spend more time in the catacombs, or do you spend more time exploring? Exploring. If that's the case, have you been to Imperial Sea Mountain? I heard that Imperial Sea Mountain is a man-made barrier land. It's said that Imperial Sea Mountain is vast and boundless, passing through the 4 major territories of the East, South, West, and West. Is there an Imperial Sea Mountain in the Magic City Catacombs too? Fong Ping's eyebrows twitched. He smiled and said, yes, other catacombs have them too. The 4 major territories of the East, South, West, and West seem to be divided into many small territories. Senior Jiang, do you know how many small territories there are in total? Jiang Chao said casually, I think there are 108 territories. Su, is that so? Su Zissa nodded and said, yes, didn't I teach you last time? Fatty Jiang, your memory is really bad. Sino Nation is facing the Southern Territory. There are 27 small territories in the Southern Territory. I'm too lazy to remember these things. I don't really go there anyway. The 2 of them chatted casually. Fong Ping listened quietly. After some thought, he said, there are only 23 entrances in Sino Nation now. Are there 4 entrances that haven't appeared yet? That's not it. Didn't the Southern Territory open 26 entrances? Su Zissa said in surprise. We have 24 here. 2 of them are in countries near Sino Nation. There's only 1 small territory in the Southern Territory that hasn't been opened yet, right? There are 24 of us? Fong Ping's pupil shrank. He was sure that there were only 23 entrances in Sino Nation. There were definitely not 24. When Su Zissa said that, she did not realize what was going on. Zheng Nanqi and Li Fei suddenly coughed softly and scolded, Su, don't talk nonsense. Su Zissa looked displeased. However, she seemed to have thought of something and said embarrassedly, I forgot that I can't tell others about these things. Fong Ping's expression did not change. He smiled and said, I won't ask then. I just feel that I'm really ignorant and inexperienced. Please excuse me. It's okay. We heard it from home. Otherwise, how would we know about these things? As Su Zissa spoke, she could not help but say, when all the territories are open, maybe we won't have the chance to come out again. Su. Zheng Nanqi growled. Su Zissa mumbled, I know. It's just a little depressing. Fong Ping still did not change his expression. He continued to lead them forward as if he did not hear anything. As they walked, they arrived at the entrance of the southern area. At the entrance, Qin Fengqing's big bald head was especially conspicuous. With his back facing them, he said loudly, Old Zhang, when are the brats from the exchange group coming? As soon as the words left his mouth, Zheng Nanqi and the others' expressions changed. Fong Ping's expression changed too. He looked at everyone apologetically. As if he did not have time to interrupt, Qin Fengqing said loudly again, "Have these brats seen blood before? They still want to challenge MCMAU's instructors. Don't get scared and faint at the sight of blood. Don't look at them just because they are rank 6. Any random rank 4 student from MCMAU can defeat 10 of them. Fong Ping even asked us to entertain them well. Entertain my ass. Fong Ping is also a coward. I already told him not to trouble the instructors. We'll go up there and defeat those brats ourselves. Then everything will be fine. Now we have to call out the instructors who are in closed-door cultivation. Isn't it troublesome? Qin Fengqing, talk less, Zhang Yu said in a low voice. He added, it won't be good if someone hears you. What are you afraid of? I dare to say it in front of them. Only you guys are afraid of trouble. But even if I say it in front of them, those brats will probably be too scared to make a sound. We won't be merciful. Unlike the instructors, we'll just deal with them for a while. We won't really fight them. Behind them, Fong Ping's expression was livid. He smiled apologetically at them again. Then he said furiously, Qin Fengqing, are you trying to cause trouble for MCMAU on purpose? Fong Ping was not the only one whose face was ashen. Jiang Chao and the others all had frighteningly ugly expressions on their faces. Qin Fengqing did not seem to mind, nor was he surprised by Fong Ping's appearance. He turned his head to glance at the crowd and said perfunctorily, "Oh, you're here. I'm sorry, we were just chatting." Qin Fengqing, Fong Ping bellowed, apologize to the seniors immediately. You want me to apologize? Qin Fengqing seemed to have his tail stepped on, and he said angrily, why? Am I not telling the truth? What? Is telling the truth against the law? Don't look down on them just because they are rank 6. I can fight 1 against 10. Fong Ping, you're afraid of trouble and act like a coward, but I'm not. Will it be a problem for you to fight 10 of them alone? Do these fellows really think that martial arts university instructors have so much free time? Just a few chicks who might be scared to tears at the sight of blood, and yet our tutor purposely came out of seclusion to wait for them to challenge us. Are they playing house? Fong Ping was so angry that his face turned red. He growled, get lost. Get lost right now. Do you hear me? TSK, coward. When did you, Fong Ping, become such a coward? You want to be the president of the martial arts club? What a disgrace to MCMAU. It's not like you can't beat them. If you can't beat them, then just admit it. Just these few vitality martial artists, and you can't beat them? To be honest, I saw you all from afar. You Fong Ping are so arrogant in school. You're not a coward in the catacombs either. But in front of them, you're a coward like a coward. I just can't stand it. Insolence. Fong Ping flew into a rage. His vitality soared to the sky, and he roared, if you don't get lost, I'll expel you. Qin Fengqing stiffened his neck and did not utter a word. Beside him, Zhang Yu said hurriedly, President, Qin Fengqing is just outspoken. He didn't do it on purpose. The words outspoken were more hurtful than Qin Fengqing's words. At this moment, someone in the exchange group could not stand it anymore. With an ugly expression, he said, this is Qin Fengqing, right? It seems like you look down on us, right? Qin Fengqing sneered. So what if I am? It's fine if you don't come to MCMAU. But now that you're here, you actually want to challenge our rank 6 instructors. What a joke. Do you need us rank 6 instructors to deal with trash like you? Do you know how busy our instructors are? They don't have the time to play house with you. And you're so arrogant, only looking for rank 6 instructors to learn from each other. Don't think that I'm just an early stage rank 5. Fighting you guys is not a problem. As for Fong Ping, fighting 10 of us alone shouldn't be too difficult. I'm not as cowardly as Fong Ping. Fong Ping was getting angrier. He was about to attack. Beside him, Li Fei suddenly pressed on Fong Ping's shoulder and said in a low voice, Fong Ping, wait. Fong Ping said apologetically, I'm sorry. This guy is the biggest thorn in MCMAU. I don't know what he did today. Li Fei interrupted. I don't blame you. I just want to ask Qin Fengqing, right? I want to know, with student Qin's ability as an early-stage rank 5 martial artist, do you really think that you're stronger than us? Qin Fengqing sneered and said lightly, of course. Looking at you guys, you're probably a newbie. Have you seen blood before? Have you killed anyone before? I'm not talented, but I've been to the catacombs a few times. I wonder how many times student Qin has been there? And how many people have you killed? Why should I tell you? Fong Ping, you've been there 4 times, right? Fong Ping's expression was ugly. So what? Although 4 times is a lot, senior brothers and senior sisters might have more times than me. 4 times? At this moment, even Zhang Chao, who did not care much about this, could not help but curse. Kid, you're so arrogant. Do you really think we're made of mud and have no temper? Fong Ping, the #1 martial arts university, had only been to the catacombs 4 times. Everyone was surprised by this news. It was said that martial arts university students often went to the catacombs and had seen a lot of blood. But now Fong Ping had been there 4 times. This big bald guy was weaker than Fong Ping. How many times had he been there? Zhang Chao almost spat in his face. He had been there 5 or 6 times. Before this, he often heard people say that they were useless and could not compare to the martial artists outside. Those martial artists killed people like flies and were full of killing intent. But now, these students who had not been to the catacombs as many times as him were looking down on them. Fong Ping wanted to say something, but stopped. Qin Fengqing continued to provoke. What? You want to compete? Aren't you afraid of going back crying? A rank 6 lost to a rank 5. 1 against 10 of you. That's embarrassing. I heard that you have powerful backgrounds. I don't dare to hurt you. If I do, it'll be troublesome. Sai, forget it. Pretend I didn't say anything. Let's go. I can't be bothered with you. Li Fei's eyes were cold. I'm afraid student Qin will have to answer for this. Are you a martial arts university student for humiliating us for no reason? Humiliating? Qin Fengqing was shocked. You think I'm humiliating you? After saying that, Qin Fengqing suddenly looked at Fong Ping and gritted his teeth. Fong Ping, do you think I'm humiliating them? If you were a real man, tell me, could you fight 10 of them alone? Fong Ping's face was livid. He kept quiet. Say it. Is that all you've got? Fong Ping? You can win, but you have to pretend to be a coward. What's the point? Qin Fengqing was furious. Zhang Chao and the others looked at Fong Ping. Seeing Fong Ping's ugly expression but his silence, their expressions changed. So, Fong Ping thought so too. In the midst of everyone's silence, Qin Fengqing suddenly curled his lips and said, Forget it. I won't ask anymore. It's useless. The instructors are ready anyway. Let's play with them. It's none of our business. Zhang Chao did not want to fight with an MCMAU instructor. He laughed. Baldy, you're so arrogant. Do you want to fight? Qin Fengqing was overjoyed. This fatty was too easy to hook. However, he said disdainfully, I'm not interested. Hee. I thought you had more confidence. Qin Fengqing suddenly frowned. Why? Do you really want to humiliate yourself? As he said that, Qin Fengqing continued, Fighting with you is a waste of my time and my cultivation. Of course, if you're not convinced, you can fight. But I'm a person who won't wake up without benefits. If there are no benefits, it's useless even if I win. How about this? If we're going to fight, I'll add some stakes so you can go home crying and remember. Arrogant. Li Fei and the others were really angry. He was too arrogant at this juncture. On the side, Fong Ping shouted angrily again. Qin Fengqing, are you going to leave or not? If you don't, I'll kill you. You can only bully your own people. Fong Ping, you being the president of the Martial Arts Society is a disgrace to martial arts universities. Trash, an embarrassment. How can a coward like you be the top martial arts university student? You're a disgrace to all martial arts universities. Qin Fengqing was not in the mood to put on an act. He was really scolding Fong Ping. He had wanted to scold Fong Ping for a long time. Usually, he was afraid of getting beaten up. Now that Fong Ping wanted to put on an act, he was cooperating. Trash. If you don't dare to stand up for martial arts universities and prove the strength of martial arts university students, then I'll do it. Our martial arts university instructors have been through hundreds of battles in the catacombs. We don't have time to play games with these people. Do you think you're worthy to be a martial arts university student? Qin Fengqing. Fong Ping was furious. Li Fei held him down again and looked at Qin Fengqing coldly. Are you sure you want to challenge us? Fong Ping, they're the ones looking for trouble. I'm not afraid of them. Challenge me then. I'm just afraid that you don't dare. What a joke. Another person in the exchange group said, we didn't want to look for you guys at first, but if you insist on asking for trouble, then don't blame us for being rude. Qin Fengqing sneered. I'd like to see who's rude to whom, but I'll say this first. I won't do anything without a prize. Having said that, Qin Fengqing glanced at everyone, sizing them up. He glanced at Fong Ping from the corner of his eyes and saw him make a gesture. His heart skipped a beat, but he immediately said, it's not fun if there's no prize. How about 50 billion? 3 out of 5. 5 from martial arts universities, 5 from you guys. Do you dare? 50 billion. Zhang Yu was about to break down. Qin Fengqing was crazy. Chapter 458. Without waiting for the others to respond, Fong Ping said coldly, I won't stop you if you want to die, but a bet of 50 billion is not allowed. Besides, do you even have that much money? Qin Fengqing sneered. How do you know I don't? Do you think everyone is as poor as you, hesitating to take out 50 billion? Speaking of which, your entire fortune is probably only 50 billion, right? As he said that, Qin Fengqing chuckled. We're not poor like you. Ask these guys over there if 50 billion is money. Fong Ping's face turned red with anger again. He gritted his teeth. Yes, I'm poor, but even if I'm poor, how much better off are you? Even if you can take out 50 billion, if you lose, you'll probably have to pawn your pants. Their conversation made Zhang Yu's heart feel like it was about to burst. Could the two of them not be like this? Beside them, Li Fei and the others frowned slightly. Were they serious? 50 billion. They were not isolated from the world. 50 billion was not a small number. They were just inexperienced, but that did not mean they did not know the price. It was actually very difficult to estimate the value of a rank 7 divine weapon. Under normal circumstances, at this stage, money would not be used to estimate it. If money was really needed, the economy would have collapsed long ago. At the high-rank stage, if powerhouses had the need, they might barter for it. Rank 7 divine weapons were also divided into high and low. If the price were to be converted into money, it would be between 10 billion and 15 billion. 50 billion was about 4 middle stage rank 7 divine weapons. Early stage, about 5. Everyone looked at Qin Fengqing suspiciously. Qin Fengqing looked indifferent. He took out 100 honing fruit and swallowed it in one gulp. Fong Ping's heart ached. Are you crazy? I only said to prove my wealth when it's necessary. I asked you to drop it on purpose, not eat it. Do you know that I don't have many left? Fong Ping's heart ached. Zhang Chao looked at the energy fruit in his hand and suddenly felt inferior. Su Zissou was surprised too. She murmured, 100 honing fruit? Qin Fengqing looked indifferent. He said casually, what's wrong? I'm talking so much nonsense. Why do you care if I eat a fruit when I'm thirsty? Everyone was speechless. Before this, a few of them had looked down on these martial arts university students. But now, the few of them looked at one another, not knowing what to say. What a joke! 50 billion. Li Fei furrowed his brows slightly and looked at Zheng Nanqi. Zheng Nanqi was still as cold as ever. He said faintly, Are you sure you want to give us money? Besides, we don't lack money. Qin Fengqing said in surprise, 50 billion is just a proxy. If you don't want money, then you can use source stones. I still have a few hundred kilograms of cultivation-aiding energy stones, Fong Ping explained. It's rank 9 energy stones. A few hundred pounds. Li Fei and the rest were shocked again. Didn't they say that the martial artists in the outside world were very poor? Didn't they say that it was difficult for everyone to cultivate? A few hundred kilograms of grade 9 energy stones. Yes, they also had a lot of them, but they didn't belong to them alone. They were used by many people to cultivate together. It was not their private property. Their personal property was really not that much. But now a rank 5 martial artist was actually richer than them. If they were doubtful before, now they were convinced. The 100 honing fruit was a rare item even when they were rank 4 and 5. Now, the other party was eating it as a snack. This guy said he had 50 billion, and everyone believed him. They looked at one another again. Jiang Chao was jumping with joy. He grinned and said, "Baldy, do you really want to bet 50 billion with us? You're just an early stage rank 5. If you lose and you cry, we won't return it to you." Qin Fengqing sneered. 50 billion and I'll cry? Besides, will I lose? All right. Do you have money? If you don't waste my time. Let our instructor play with you. It'll be a fake competition. It'll only take a minute or two. Someone in the crowd said coldly, "We don't have cash, but cultivation resources worth 50 billion are nothing. I'm just afraid you won't dare to come." Jiang Chao said happily, "Baldy, are there many energy fruits like the 100 honing fruit? I don't want money, and I don't want energy stones either. I want energy fruits. I still lack a monster carcass to collect. Doesn't MCMU have a monster carcass? Can you get your hands on this thing?" Qin Fengqing grinned. "It's a small matter. In MCMU, you can exchange anything with money. If I want to exchange, it's not a problem. As long as the price is within a reasonable range, energy fruits, energy stones, monster carcasses, and life essence are all small matters." Life essence? This time, even Li Fei and the others were shocked. Li Fei asked in a low voice, "You have life essence?" Even for them, they did not have many of these things. They did have some, but it was very little. Life essence was one of the best treasures for rank 6 and high-rank cultivators. Qin Fengqing saw that they were tempted. He said lightly, "A little, not much, a few tens of grams." Although it did not sound like much, they were still tempted. Zheng Nanqi said in a low voice, "I want life essence." "No problem." Qin Fengqing asked, "What about you guys?" As he spoke, he hinted at Jiang Chao's boots with his eyes. Qin Fengqing understood immediately. It was good stuff. He looked at Jiang Chao and said, "Fatty, I want your boots." "This won't do," Jiang Chao rejected immediately. "This is a divine weapon. We rank 7 martial artists need it. Divine weapon." Qin Fengqing roared in his heart. F***CK. No wonder Fong Ping wanted this. Fong Ping, who was beside him, gestured again and knocked his head 5 times with his mentality. 5 divine weapons. Qin Fengqing was exceptionally clear-headed at this time. He said loudly, 5 divine weapons. If you want it, then do it. If you don't, then forget it. I'm not interested in ordinary things. You guys know that I don't lack those energy fruits, energy stones, and the like. The other things are useless to me. Divine weapons are not bad. I can keep them. Are you going to bet? If not, don't waste my time. Get lost." Seeing that Zheng Nanqi and the others were silent, Fong Ping shouted, "Qin Fengqing, you're too much. Divine weapons are treasures everywhere. Do you think you can use 5 divine weapons alone?" As he said that, Fong Ping suddenly froze. He looked at the others apologetically and said awkwardly, "Seniors, please don't misunderstand. I didn't mean it that way." Was he not clearly saying that they were going to lose? At this moment, the few of them looked even more upset. Fong Ping's unintentional words further confirmed what Big Baldy had said earlier. These martial arts university students looked down on them. A rank 5 martial artist did not take these rank SIXS seriously at all. These people were not very old. Even Jiang Chao, who did not seem to care much about these things, looked displeased. He said, "Fong Ping, do you think we'll lose to him?" Fong Ping said awkwardly, "Senior Jiang, please don't misunderstand. If Qin Fengqing really wants to challenge you, as a martial arts university student, I have to participate in the challenge. I'm not planning to spar with you guys." Li Fei frowned. "If that's the case, Junior Fong, you think you'll definitely win?" "I mean that. Please don't misunderstand." Fong Ping was even more embarrassed now. He said helplessly, "We're all on the same side. We're fighting for humanity together." Li Fei said lightly, "We're just sparring, not fighting to the death. Don't overdo it. Don't worry, we won't hurt." Junior Qin Fengqing sneered, but did not speak. The more he did not speak, the more he looked down on them. Zheng Nanqi and Li Fei, the 2 upper stage rank 6, were the leaders of the group. They looked at each other. Li Fei said again, "Junior Qin, Are you sure you want to compete? You talk too much. It's just a small competition, and it's just sparring. Why make it sound like a big battle? You said it's best of 5. What's the rule? Qin Fengqing laughed. 5 against 5. Of course, if you don't like this, then we'll follow the Martial Arts University Championships format. Both sides will send their own people to fight. The winner will continue, and the loser will step down. It's simple. It's up to you. We don't care. Li Fei and Zheng Nanqi looked at each other. 3 out of 5. There would be too many accidents. The powerhouses could only win 1 round at most. However, the powerhouses would play a big role in the arena. He and Zheng Nanqi were upper stage rank 6. If one of them went up, they would probably be able to defeat 5 of them by themselves. Was this Baldy giving them money? Divine weapons were hard to come by. Even they did not have one just because they wanted one. The divine weapons they had to be at least rank 7. If they could win the competition without losing, they would get so many things for free. They could even teach these guys a lesson. Thinking of this, Li Fei looked at the others and said, "All right, if you insist on giving us money, we won't refuse. When is the competition?" "How about tomorrow morning?" Qin Fengqing laughed. "All right, what about the competition format?" "According to your championship format." "All right. If you lose, remember to leave 5 divine weapons." "No, I don't know you. We have to sign a contract and let the grandmasters bear witness, lest you go back on your word." Jiang Chao sneered. "That's good too. I was afraid that you would go back on your word." After both sides had agreed, Fong Ping smiled bitterly. This, how am I going to explain this to Minister Wang? How am I going to explain this to Dean Li? Senior apprentice brother Li, senior apprentice brother Zheng. Qin Fengqing is an idiot. I apologize on his behalf. I think this competition should be cancelled. Li Fei smiled and said, "Junior brother Fong, there's no harm in sparring. It's more interesting to add some stakes. Of course, if we really want to spar, we won't go easy on you. Don't worry, we'll try our best to hold back." "This," Jiang Chao said impatiently. "Fong Ping, it's Baldy's money anyway. What are you worried about?" "Senior Jiang, I didn't mean it that way. But you're so fussy. You're not doing it right." Jiang Chao was not impressed. He looked at Qin Fengqing and said, "Baldy, if you want to bet, go find the grandmasters and sign the contract now. Do you dare?" "Whoever doesn't dare is a coward." Both of them said harsh words. Fong Ping saw that they were walking toward Minister Wang and the others. He smiled bitterly and said, "This is a mess. Sigh. Senior Li, why did you guys bet with an idiot like him?" Li Fei followed them and smiled faintly. "It's just for fun. Don't worry, Junior Fong." "Fine. Since you guys insist, I won't say anything." Fong Ping shook his head. There was nothing he could do if they insisted. Zhang Yu, who was beside him, did not say anything. These guys really agreed. Not only did they agree, but they also insisted. Fong Ping could not stop them. Yes, he could not stop them. MCMAU's guest hall. Li Changsheng and the others were still talking and laughing. After a while, Fong Ping suddenly ran in and said with a bitter smile, "Minister Wang, President Liu, the seniors insisted on sparring with the martial arts students. They even made a bet. What should we do about this?" When he said that, Li Changsheng and the others' expressions changed instantly. They all looked at Fong Ping. Old man Li was speechless. "Mother asterisk Kerr? Are you kidding me? What should we do? Are you sure you didn't do it yourself?" Old man Li was sure that it was Fong Ping. Minister Wang was a little doubtful. President Liu frowned slightly and said, "Nonsense." He was not talking about Fong Ping. He was talking about those rich second generations. You're all rank 6 martial artists. You want to challenge martial arts university students? Don't you have any shame? Minister Wang frowned too. Soon, the others came in. Jiang Chao said as soon as he entered, "Minister Wang, President Liu, I have something to trouble you to be our witness." President Liu frowned. "Jiang Chao, is it about the martial arts university students?" "Oh," Fong Ping said it. "I won't repeat it. It's just a contract. Please be our witness." Having said that, Jiang Chao took the contract that Qin Fengqing had just written quickly and passed it to Minister Wang. Minister Wang frowned and glanced at it. His heart almost jumped out of his chest. These kids, they bet so much. Beside him, the other grandmasters also glanced at it with their mentality. When he saw the 5 divine weapons, Old Man Li's eyes suddenly lit up. He shouted, "Qin Fengqing, who allowed you to spar with the members of the exchange team? If you hurt cough cough, if you hurt the harmony, it won't be good." Minister Wang looked at Li Chongqing suspiciously. "Why do you sound like you're provoking these guys?" As expected, although Old Man Li did not say everything, Jiang Chao and the others' expressions were extremely ugly. If they hurt us, are we really that useless? In other words, the whole of MCMAU did not take us seriously at all. They really thought that they were messing with us. Li Fei and the others were proud and arrogant. They thought that even if they went up against MCMAU's rank 6 instructors, they would still have a chance of winning. Now that the instructors were not going to fight, the students were older and stronger. If they did not even have this bit of confidence, what was the point of practicing martial arts? They might as well be normal people, and they were prepared to enter the restricted area. They might as well commit suicide. As soon as Old Man Li's voice fell, Zheng Nanqi instantly said with a straight face, "Dean Li, the spar is voluntary. Although you're MCMU's dean, the spar between martial artists should be voluntary. There shouldn't be a problem, right? Even if you don't allow it today, we can also not spar in MCMAU. It's the same when we go out. Why bother?" Old Man Li sighed and shook his head. "Fine. Since you insist, then so be it." "Dean Li," Minister Wang coughed softly, "you guys are too black-hearted. 5 divine weapons." Although he also felt that these kids were tycoons, it should be enough to blackmail 1 divine weapon, right? 5 in one go. No. Minister Wang suddenly realized, how can I be so sure that MCMU will win? No matter how weak these kids are, there are still 2 upper stage rank 6. Also, according to what they said this time, 5 people will fight. 3 of them are middle stage and 2 of them are upper stage. This kind of ability is extremely strong. But why is he so sure that MCMAU can cheat away 5 divine weapons? Thinking was just thinking. He himself had thought about this before. However, at this time, Minister Wang still said with a straight face, "Zheng Nanqi, have you guys really thought it through? 5 divine weapons. If you really lose, you won't be able to take them back." "Of course, MCMAU," Qin Fengqing said dryly. "MCMAU." Minister Wang's pupils contracted slightly. These kids were working together to set a trap. Taking a deep breath, Minister Wang continued, "If MCMU loses, then you guys must also take out these 50 billion worth of resources. This is not a joke. If you really want us to be witnesses, once the results are out, the Education Ministry, the Martial Arts Association, and MCMU will all be the witnesses. Have you guys really thought it through?" Qin Fengqing was addicted to acting. He said casually, "It's only 50 billion. It's a small amount. It's fine. Who can renege on a debt after losing? Right? Fong Ping?" Fong Ping said without batting an eyelid, "It's not my money. How would I know you?" Qin Fengqing's expression changed. What did he mean? "If we really lose, you'll sell me out?" Qin Fengqing had already said it was a small amount of money. Jiang Chao felt that he could not be looked down upon by this baldy. He said immediately, "It's only 5 divine weapons. There are 10 of us. Can't we afford this price? Moreover, some people insist on giving us money. When the time comes, Minister Wang can help supervise them. Just don't let them renege on the debt." "That won't happen. Martial arts wagers are allowed in the first place. Unless it's in the catacombs, otherwise it will be carried out." Minister Wang was not siding with anyone. Just like the last time Fong Ping went to the sect to challenge, the other party had asked him to leave behind his weapons if he lost. This was the rule. The martial arts world had its own rules too. "That's good." Jiang Chao laughed. He looked at Qin Fengqing and said, "Baldy, if we lose this time, I'm afraid you'll have to sell your pants. You talk big, but 50 billion is probably all you have, right?" Qin Fengqing's expression changed. He let out a humph. "You really think too highly of me. 50 billion? I don't even have 50 cents. I still have 2 billion in debt. But these guys were really rich. They took out 5 divine weapons just like that. Could it be that Fong Ping said 500 billion earlier? Thinking of this, Qin Fengqing could not help but glance at Fong Ping. Fong Ping did not look at him. He had indeed said 50 billion. Although he really wanted to strip these guys naked, if he really did that, it would be troublesome. Now, 10 of them, after splitting it evenly, it would only be 5 billion per person. It should not be a problem for one person to lose half a divine weapon, right? Our abilities are weaker than theirs. If we win so little, their elders won't have the face to ask for it back, right? Fong Ping thought about this in his heart, but his face showed a hint of struggle. He sighed softly and said, "If that's the case, Senior Li, Senior Zheng, Qin Fengqing is a member of MCMAU after all. I'm afraid I have to fight." Li Fei smiled faintly. "Junior Fong, you don't have to do this. I also want to see the prowess of the Martial Arts University's #1 student. I hope Junior Fong won't let us down." Fong Ping smiled bitterly again. He said helplessly, "I hope everyone won't hurt our friendship. Sparring is sparring, but we'll still be friends afterward." Also regarding this matter, Qin Fengqing, as Fong Ping said that, he looked at Qin Fengqing and scolded, "No matter what, you have to apologize to your seniors. I'm a student of MCMAU. I can still bear this little bit of responsibility." Qin Fengqing looked indignant. After hesitating for a while, he still opened his mouth and said, "All right, I'll apologize for what I said before. I'm sorry. But if they lose," Jiang Chao curled his lips and said, "If we lose, then we'll admit that we're trash, okay?" Qin Fengqing nodded and said, "That's fine." After saying that, Qin Fengqing said again, "Tomorrow at 8:00 in the morning, MCMU's first field. Each side will send 5 people. You can send whoever you want. On our side, I guarantee that they're all current students. We won't cheat, and we won't be older than you. Don't worry, we martial arts university students can win and lose. Us too." Jiang Chao humphed and said, "If you think that our ranks are higher than yours, then we'll let Su and the others go." Cough, cough. Zheng Nanqi coughed softly. They should not be careless. Early stage rank 6 was not much stronger than a peak rank 5 because their Sanjiao gate was not sealed at all. To be on the safe side, it was better for the 5 of them to go. If they were careless and lost 5 divine weapons, they would be in trouble when they returned. Actually, Qin Fengqing could not wait for the 5 early stage rank 6 on their side to go. However, after thinking about it, he was just a bystander. So he said heroically, "No need. Whoever is the strongest will go. For geniuses like us, the rank barrier doesn't exist." "Good. Straightforward." Jiang Chao laughed and said, "Baldy, I didn't like you before, but now you're much more pleasing to the eye. Later on, you'll have to use your lost pants. Don't worry, I'll leave a pair of pants for you to wear." Qin Fengqing curled his lips and said, "Later on, when you lose, I won't hold back anymore. I've taken a liking to your pair of boots." Fong Ping suddenly glared at him fiercely. "Boots made of fur. Divine weapon boots. They're for running. We can't use them. They're prepared for the instructors. But it doesn't seem bad to let the instructors run." Both sides signed the agreement very quickly. The Grandmasters did not sign, but with the Grandmasters as witnesses, there was no need to do so. Looking at Jiang Chao's group of people beaming with joy, Qin Fengqing's arrogance rose. Minister Wang sighed suddenly. Who was the one who tricked who? At the moment, it seemed that Jiang Chao's side was very powerful. If word got out, people would probably think that Jiang Chao and the others were bullying others and forcing Qin Fengqing and the others. But what was the actual situation? Minister Wang's gaze swept over Fong Ping and the others, then looked at the joyful Li Changxin. It was obvious that MCMAU had tricked them. But even if they knew it was a trap, Jiang Chao and the others had lost, and they had lost face. It was okay to lose to rank 6 instructors. The instructors were old and had more experience. Losing to a few students who were younger and weaker than them, he was worried that these young people would not be able to take such a blow. The key was 5 divine weapons. He was tempted too. This was not a matter of money. Monster beasts and monster plants were not that easy to kill, not to mention 5 of them at once. If MCMU really wins, it'll be scary. If Lu Fengru and the others each have a divine weapon, I'm afraid the ranking list will be rewritten. As for Jiang Chao and the other brats, whether they would be beaten to death when they returned, Minister Wang could not do anything about it. Losing half a divine weapon was not to the extent of being beaten to death, but to be so useless, those seniors at Mount Imperial Sea would probably vomit blood in anger. Chapter 459. Outside the living room, Fong Ping sighed as he sent them out. I didn't expect things to turn out this way. I was planning to be a good host since you've come from afar. I've even arranged a banquet tonight. Jiang Chao was intrigued. There's a banquet? Li Fei's expression darkened. Shut up. He smiled at Fong Ping. You're welcome, Junior Fong. We're all martial artists. We can dispense with the formalities. Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief. It was good that he dispensed with the formalities. He had not really prepared anything. Although that was what he was thinking, Fong Ping hesitated for a moment. After a while, he still said softly, the bet of 5 divine weapons is still too big. Senior brothers and sisters, don't misunderstand. What I mean is, if there is an accident, if we really lose 5 divine weapons, seeing that they did not look too good, Fong Ping suddenly said, if Qin Fengqing really wins, I'll ask him to return them to you. What do you mean, Junior Fong? Zheng Nanqi said coldly. Win or lose, do martial artists not even have this bit of responsibilities? Li Fei's expression did not look good either. He frowned. We can understand Junior Fong's good intentions, but you're underestimating us. We can accept winning or losing. Returning them to us? Junior brother Fong, are you trying to make our clan lose all face? Su Zissou also advised. Fong Ping, it's okay. Don't think too much. Even if we lose, we'll only get half a divine weapon each. I'm fine with it anyway. Jiang Chao did not care as much as before. He chuckled. We don't actually need the divine weapons. Besides, Fong Ping, aren't you underestimating us? We'll lose? Ask Baldy to prepare energy fruits. It's best if there's more of them. I won't be interested in ordinary ones. They felt that Fong Ping was insulting them. If they lost, he would ask Baldy to return them. What did he think they were? Besides, would middle stage and upper stage rank 6 powerhouses like them lose to a few martial arts university students? If they agreed now and won, they would be too embarrassed to ask for Baldy's things. The few of them rejected him sternly. Fong Ping smiled bitterly. Fine. I've gauged the heart of a gentleman with my own mean measure. As he spoke, Fong Ping had already sent them to the side of the bus. Finally, Fong Ping said with a straight face, if that's the case, then I'll wait for your guidance tomorrow. In a battle of martial arts, doing your best is the greatest respect for martial artists. That's why tomorrow, whether it's me, the martial arts university students, or my senior brothers and sisters, I hope that all of you will do your best. Even if we lose in one move, it's because we're not strong enough. Fong Ping definitely doesn't want everyone to go easy on us just because our martial arts ranks are low. As soon as he said that, Li Fei replied solemnly, I'll definitely do my best. Zheng Nanqi also took a deep look at him and said in a low voice, my father once taught me that one must first cultivate the heart when cultivating martial arts. Junior brother Fong, don't worry. If we really fight, we won't be careless. Fong Ping did not speak. He clenched his right fist and performed a martial arts salute. As soon as the martial salute was performed, the 10 members of the exchange team turned serious, including the sloppy Jiang Chao, who returned the salute. After the salute, Su Ziss's small face suddenly flushed. She said excitedly, I'm so excited. Performing a martial arts salute. In the past, when Big Brother Jiang and the others left to fight, everyone would only perform a martial arts salute. Su Zissou was a little excited. For martial artists, performing a martial arts salute was a form of respect and importance, treating you as a real opponent or a hero. This kind of treatment was something they had never experienced before. The others did not say it out loud, but they were secretly happy. Even the cold Zheng Nanqi nodded slightly at Fong Ping, forced a smile, and then stepped onto the bus. The others got on the bus one after another. Before they left, Su Zissa stuck her head out of the window and waved, smiling. Fong Ping, see you tomorrow. Fong Ping, tell Big Baldy that I'll definitely have a good fight with him tomorrow. Let's see if he's still as arrogant as before. Jiang Chao also stuck his head out and said, chuckling. Fong Ping was all smiles. I'll definitely pass the message on. The bus drove away slowly. After a while, Minister Wang, who did not follow them earlier, came over. He patted Fong Ping's shoulder lightly and sighed. What a black-hearted person. Fong Ping was at a loss. He turned to look at Minister Wang, looking confused. Looking at his expression, Minister Wang was starting to doubt his life. Are you sure you're not pretending? Forget it. Do whatever you want. Minister Wang sighed. After thinking for a while, he still said, these kids aren't bad by nature. It's just that they haven't experienced enough, so they don't understand many things at all. I think they seem to treat you as a friend. Fong Ping, don't be too harsh. Fong Ping smiled bitterly. I don't quite understand what you're saying, Minister. I also treat them as friends. Ha! Minister Wang felt that it was necessary for him to refresh his understanding of MCMU's Fong Ping. Don't you have a conscience when you've fooled others until you believe it yourself? The key was he was starting to suspect that this matter had something to do with Fong Ping. Could it be that Qin Fengqing had planned it himself? Without saying anything more to Fong Ping, Minister Wang leaped into the air and disappeared from the spot. As soon as he left, Old Man Li, Qin Fengqing, and the others arrived. Qin Fengqing rubbed his bald head and chuckled. Fong Ping, these fools are really easy to fool. After what you said, TSK to SK, they can't wait to make you their confidant. Fong Ping's expression was ugly. He scolded, who's a fool? What fool? How can you say that? Is our purpose to fool them and bully them? They didn't do anything evil. The things are their own. Don't tell me you want to rob them. If we're capable, then we'll fight for it ourselves. What their ancestors fought for. What does it have to do with you? Qin Fengqing, there's something wrong with your attitude. You want good stuff whenever you see it. You can do it to the catacombs humans, but not to humans. If they're all like you, then it'll be a mess. Qin Fengqing was dumbfounded. What was going on? Not only was Qin Fengqing confused, Zhang Yu was completely confused. Did Fong Ping find his conscience? Fong Ping scolded for a while, then sighed. Of course, this is an emergency. Now that they have no use for the divine weapons, they'll lend them to us temporarily. If we kill more enemies, they'll have some credit too. Half of the military metal will be theirs too. When we get the divine weapons, we must remember their contributions. Zhang Yu was confused. I thought you found your conscience. Qin Fengqing breathed a sigh of relief. It's still the same smell. I thought I got the wrong person. Old Man Li, on the other hand, was not surprised. He grinned and said, Kid, what's your plan? Also, are you confident? Fong Ping muttered. In MCMU today, my instructor, Old Lu, and Instructor Tang all need divine weapons. Old Man Li stared at him dangerously, pinching Qin Fengqing's big bald head. Qin Fengqing seemed to have accepted his fate. He did not make a sound, as if he was not the one being pinched. Fong Ping coughed softly, stifling his laughter. Of course, you need a divine weapon too. But they don't have a rank 8 divine weapon. Rank 7 will do. Vice-Chancellor Huang, it's best to use monster corpses to forge one that suits him. I won't prepare one for him. In that case, we need 4 divine weapons. Fong Ping pondered for a moment before saying, a divine weapon is useless if it's not at Grandmaster level. It's about the same as my Chaos Vanquishing Saber, maybe even worse. So I want to give the other divine weapon to CCMU. Old Man Li raised his eyebrows slightly. He muttered, you want to ask Li Hansong to come over? Fong Ping nodded. If MCMU takes all the benefits, it's MCMU's problem. The Education Ministry might not fully support us. Of course, those fellows' ancestors might not cause trouble for us over such a small matter. But, just in case, I think we should still pull CCMAU along. CCMAU and MCMAU are the top elite schools. We actually represent the martial arts universities and the education ministry's will. Old Manly laughed. It's not impossible. I just can't bear to do it. Both of them were still talking when Luo Yichuan, who was beside them, said, Both of you, have you started distributing the divine weapons? They had not fought yet. 2 upper stage rank 6 and 3 middle stage rank 6. The other party was not really an idiot. They were pure vitality martial artists. These people also had actual combat experience. Their weapons and combat techniques were all top-notch. It could only be said that they lacked actual combat experience and were less hot-blooded. They might not lose to the average rank SIXS. Even with the advantage of weapons and combat techniques, many rank 6 martial artists might not be their opponents. Not to mention human rank SIXS, even the catacombs rank 6 civilians were not their opponents. But now, these fellows were discussing how to distribute the divine weapons. Had they become so arrogant? As Luo Yichuan said, he added, also, if we really lose 50 billion in resources. Fong Ping laughed and glanced at Qin Fengqing. Qin Fengqing's face turned green. He gritted his teeth and said, Fong Ping, I have no money. As he said that, he said fiercely, if the divine weapons are distributed, what about me? Fong Ping could not help but laugh. After a while, he said, this competition is 5 against 5. Actually, I want to make it more exciting and intense. On one hand, I want the other party to understand that martial arts university students are very strong, and they are indeed very weak. On the other hand, I want the prodigies of martial arts universities to understand that although we are not weak, we are not the strongest. The age gap between us is not big. Although the others have elders to take care of them, it is a fact that their realms are higher than ours. Old Manly frowned slightly. You mean, on MCMU's side, Qin Fengqing and I will fight. He made a bet, so he has to fight. Also, call Li Hansong, Wang Jinyang, and Yao Qingjun to fight. Of course, there are requirements. If Li Hansong wins, he will be given a divine weapon. He can give it to any CCMU Grandmaster. If he loses, he will not have it. For Wang Jinyang and Yao Qingjun, forget about the divine weapons. I am giving them a chance to gain experience. If they win, I will give each of them 30 to 50 million energy stones. A little more is not a problem. The divine weapons will be gone. If they lose, they will not have to pay any price. Qin Fengqing said immediately, what about me? We'll talk after you win. After Fong Ping said that, Old Manly gave him a look. After a while, he said, you called these people up just to gain experience? Fong Ping was silent for a moment. After a while, he said, it's a slightly immature idea. If it is really like what we guessed, maybe there will be other opportunities for cooperation in the future. They will not be outdated, and they will not always be powerhouses among the younger generation. Compared to them, this Qin Fengqing fellow's potential is much weaker. Qin Fengqing's face turned purple. He said angrily, what do you mean? Fong Ping said lazily, I mean it literally. Having said that, Fong Ping ignored him and continued, this time, I have pulled them to the same side. To be honest, the timing of these people's resurrection is a little coincidental. I have a feeling that there is some connection. Old Manly stared at him and said, aren't you? Fong Ping had a mysterious smile on his face, but he was cursing in his heart. I am nothing. How would I know the reason why these people resurrected? Beside him, Qin Fengqing was no longer angry. Instead, he said blankly, what resurrection? Fong Ping gave him a look and said lightly, this is the school's higher-ups' business. It has nothing to do with you. Qin Fengqing. What he said made so much sense. Old Man Li did not talk about this anymore. He turned around and said with a smile, let's not care about this. It's up to you. All right, kid, you have to play it safe. If MCMEU really gets their hands on 4 divine weapons, then their strength will skyrocket. The divine weapons are not very effective in the hands of these kids. But in our hands, after nurturing them for a period of time, our combat strength will increase by at least 30%. Don't think that these kids all have divine weapons. If I'm not mistaken, they are probably the core group of those people. They are not fringe characters. These people are very likely to be the most direct batch of descendants. They are also the batch with the strongest talents. Otherwise, even rank 9 paragons will not kill rank 7 and 8 monsters wantonly to make divine weapons. Killing wantonly will definitely cause a counterattack. Do you understand what I mean? I know. Fong Ping said with a smile. That's why I let them take the bait themselves. I let Qin Fengqing, this idiot, take the lead. He and nobody provoked them to gamble. It's not me who took the lead. Qin Fengqing cannot represent MCMAU. If it really causes some trouble, send Qin Fengqing out to settle it. Qin Fengqing's expression was as black as a sheet. So, you really plan to use me as a shield? What Fong Ping meant was that his own status was high enough to represent MCMAU. As for Qin Fengqing, thinking about it, it seemed to be the case. He could not represent MCMAU. Qin Fengqing looked sorrowful. Very quickly, he turned his grief and indignation into strength. He gritted his teeth and said, "Tell me first, how much are you giving me?" Fong Ping chuckled. "I'll directly waive 2 billion for you. Is that good enough?" "Get lost." Qin Fengqing flew into a rage. "What 2 billion? I don't remember. I want visible benefits." He did not want these kinds of benefits on paper. They were useless. Fong Ping laughed. He pondered for a moment and said, "How about this? You fight well. If you win, I'll give you an A-class weapon and 1 caddy of cultivation-aiding energy stones. If you lose, the energy stones will be gone. I'll still give you a weapon." Qin Fengqing had always used a B-class Chongdao. He had used it since rank 3. However, this guy still had a set of inner armor made of rank 6 monster skin armor. His equipment was not bad either. Actually, a B-class weapon was enough for him. If it were an A-class weapon, however, he could use it until peak rank 6. Qin Fengqing calculated silently in his heart. An A-class Chongdao was around 3,000 to 5,000 credits. 500 grams of cultivation-aiding energy stones were 15,000 credits. Altogether, it was close to 20,000 credits. This was not a small number. He would only get it if he won. If he lost, he would lose a saber. Thinking about how he was only early stage rank 5, Qin Fengqing said dryly, "Fong Ping, why don't we do this for the win and the loss?" "We'll win for sure anyway," Fong Ping smiled. "That's fine too. However, with this plan, you'll have to bear a certain amount of risk. If the whole team loses, you'll have to bear 1/5 of the resources, which is 10 billion. Are you sure you want to do this?" Qin Fengqing looked helpless. Where would he get the money? As for whether he would win for sure, it was really hard to say. According to his personality, he would take a gamble. However, at this moment, Fong Ping said very seriously, "If we really lose 50 billion worth of resources, I won't joke with you. If you want to take more, then you'll have to pay more. When the time comes, you'll have to bear this responsibility. This condition doesn't apply to the others because they have their own roles. Iron Headley represents CCMAU. Although I didn't ask the other two to represent anyone, I won't give much either. You, Qin Fengqing, are the weakest, and you want to take more. If you really lose and you can't get back 10 billion worth of resources, I can't do anything to you. However, your name will disappear from MCMAU's list in the future." Qin Fengqing said sheepishly, "Is it necessary?" "It's very necessary," Fong Ping said seriously. "Do you, Qin Fengqing, have any Desperation Realm ancestors? If not, then you'll have to rely on yourself honestly and rely on your own strength. This applies to me, Fong Ping. We don't have fathers to rely on, including our instructors. No matter how good our instructors are, they're not your father. Do you understand what I mean?" Qin Fengqing scratched his head. After a while, he said, all right. You have the final say. We'll go according to the first plan. If we lose, give me the weapons. If we win, give me the energy stones and weapons." Fong Ping nodded slightly. He looked at Zhang Yu beside him and said, "Brother Zhang, I'll give you 100 honing fruit. Don't think it's too little." Zhang Yu smiled bitterly. "I only said a few words. There's no need to do this. It's not because of this. I still hope that you can achieve rank 5 as soon as possible. After all, you promised to stay in MCMAU. Rank for instructors are a little weak." Zhang Yu smiled bitterly again. All right, even rank for instructors were weak. That was true. For the current MCMAU, perhaps rank 4 was indeed a little weak. In a typical martial arts university, rank 3 instructors were the mainstream. Okay. Recently, however, the strength of MCMU's instructors had improved very quickly. If this continued, rank 4 would really be at the bottom. Beside him, Qin Fengqing seemed to have thought of something. He asked curiously, "What about you?" If that was the case, Fong Ping did not seem to get any benefits at all. Fong Ping smiled lightly. "I only want the ownership rights of the 4 divine weapons. I won't give them to the instructors for free. Martial artists will only make equivalent exchanges. When I need them in the future, these divine weapons will still be mine." Old Manly said with a straight face, "That's how it should be. Actually, we're the ones taking advantage of you. When you need them, you can take them away anytime." Fong Ping did not mind. He continued smiling. "I still have 8 million credits here. If I really lose, these credits should be enough for the bet. If it's not enough, I'll think of something else. I, Fong Ping, don't have any grand goals. However, I hope that MCMEU can become better. I also hope that the deans won't blame me for taking matters into my own hands." Luo Yichuan said bitterly. "Of course not. Ever since you became the president of the Martial Arts Society, we've seen everything that you've done. On the other hand, we've wasted a lot of resources, yet we've been stuck at peak rank 6. We can't even achieve mentality-vitality fusion. If we had become grandmaster-level martial artists, we wouldn't have let a 20-year-old young man like you carry such a heavy burden." Chen Jinhua and the others also had helpless looks on their faces. They were helpless and bitter. If everyone was a powerhouse, Fong Ping would not have to scheme against others like this. Everyone would benefit, and Fong Ping would bear the blame. Did he really think that it was easy to scheme against the descendants of these rank 9 paragons? Those seniors were not stupid. It was fine if they did not know now, but when they found out in the end, they would definitely know that they had been schemed against. Perhaps they would not care about these things, but what was given to you is yours. You schemed against their juniors to take away these things. Did they not have any ideas? If they were not careful, it would be a disaster for Fong Ping. However, Fong Ping still did it without hesitation. Thinking of this, the few of them became even more bitter. Fong Ping comforted them. "Don't be like this, instructors. Fong Ping, can live freely until now, because the instructors have held up the sky for me. On New Year's Eve, a message, and the instructors came all the way here to save me. Fong Ping, will remember such kindness and importance. He's even stirring up emotions." Qin Fengqing mumbled. The next moment, a few fierce gazes swept over. Qin Fengqing's face was full of despair. It was over. MCMU was completely finished. 4 divine weapons, plus Huang Jing's monster. In today's MCMAU, among the quasi-grandmasters and grandmasters, only Wu Quishan had not been completely bought over. Even the few peak rank 16s, although Fong Ping did not give them divine weapons, the Celestiality Cultivation Room, in addition to Fong Ping's constant spending on MCMAU, had made them dizzy. When Fong Ping's divine weapons were in his hands, MCMU would really have the surname Fong. Even old Wu could not reverse this situation. Vice-Chancellor Wu, oh Vice-Chancellor Wu, so what if you're a rank 8? You're just a figurehead. Just be an honest fighter. Qin Fengqing sighed in his heart, feeling a little sympathetic toward old Wu. As for himself, forget it. Old Wu, that rank 8, was already a figurehead. As a rank 5, it did not matter if Fong Ping bullied him. After all, Fong Ping had given him a slap. At least he could give him some benefits. It's better if I stay in MCMAU. I can't leave. If I leave, Fong Ping has spent a lot of money on me. He can kill me. Qin Fengqing was exceptionally clear-headed at this moment. Everything else aside, he did not care about that 2 billion IOU if he stayed in MCMAU and worked hard. If he did not stay in MCMAU and work hard, Fong Ping could chase him until he doubted his life. Bastard, the matter of me going to Nanjiang and the House of Guardians must have been stirred up by him. Chapter 460. just as Fong Ping and the MCMEU people were talking. On the bus, everyone was also discussing. Su Zissa thought of something and said, Zheng Nanqi, Li Fei don't win too easily tomorrow. Save Fong Ping and the others some face. Fong Ping is quite a nice person. He even gave us a martial arts salute. Li Fei pondered for a moment and said, in a martial arts duel, cheating is disrespectful. Of course, their abilities are lower than ours. How about this? Tomorrow Jiang Chao will go first, Jiang Shi in second. Zheng Nanqi and I will go last. Zheng Nanqi also said, since the martial arts university students dare to challenge us, they must have some skills. Others aside, Fong Ping should have some real skills. He has also reached peak rank 5. We can't be careless. Jiang Chao will go first. At least they won at least one match in the end. Jiang Chao looked angry and scolded. What do you mean? Su Zissa grinned and said, I mean you can't fight 5 of them alone. I'm a middle stage rank 6. The weakest middle stage rank 6, Zheng Nanqi said lightly. Jiang Chao scolded. You are the weakest. Your whole family is the weakest. But forget it. I will not argue with them. Jiang Chao did not think too much. He said lazily, if we win, are we still going to duel with the MCMEU instructors? Of course. Li Fei said matter-of-factly. Tomorrow's duel is also a chance to prove our abilities. Otherwise, these MCMEU instructors might really think we're here to play house. The few of them discussed excitedly. In the end, Jiang Chao touched his chin and said, let's not talk about anything else. I will be the first to fight. At the end, I want to pick some energy fruits. No one is allowed to encroach on my share. Up to you. I just want some life essence and rank 9 energy stones. I want that monster. Of course, I will reimburse everyone when we get back. The few of them discussed for a while and decided on the distribution plan. A few early-stage rank 6 martial artists who were not arranged to fight were still a little indignant. Did they need to fight rank 5 martial artists? It was obvious that they would be in the limelight and get more benefits. In midair, Minister Wang looked up at the sky. What should he say? MCMU was probably discussing the distribution plan too? McMao. In the evening, the moment Li Hansong stepped out of the car, Fong Ping, who was waiting at the school gate, suddenly went forward and hugged him. His tone was complicated as he said, Ironhead, you're here. Li Hansong's body stiffened, and he was at a loss as to what to do. Fong Ping patted his back gently and let go of him. He smiled and said, I can't help it. This time, we can fight together again. After so many years, we brothers can stand together again and face it together. This time, we will be as invincible as we were in the past. Li Hansong's expression changed again. After a while, he said in a muffled voice, I don't know what you're talking about. Fong Ping laughed. It's okay. We're still brothers in this life. Don't you recognize me as your brother? Fong Ping. Li Hansong wanted to say something, but hesitated. At the side, Wang Jinyang calmly walked over and said, whether it's true or not, there's no need to care. Fong Ping, you don't have to keep repeating this. Let's get down to business. Fong Ping nodded and smiled. That's true. I was being unreasonable. Wang Jinyang darted him a look and said, don't smile at us. Fong Ping's expression was a little stiff. Wang Jinyang added, when you smile, I think you're very sinister. The kind that harbors evil intentions. Fong Ping looked gloomy. What did he say? Why would old Wang have this kind of thought? As they were talking, Yao Qingjun, who was dressed in military uniform and holding a gun, came over. He said from afar, Fong Ping, how's the opponent's ability? Among the current generation of martial artists, is there anyone who can be your opponent? After saying that, Yao Qingjun suddenly looked at Li Hansong, his gaze solemn. He said in a low voice, Li Hansong, you've broken through? Li Hansong finally came back to his senses. Upon hearing that, he let out a sigh of relief and smiled. I was lucky. As he said that, he added, you should be breaking through soon. Qingjun, you can try getting hurt. Forget it. You'll know when the time comes. What do you mean? Li Hansong shook his head. Knowing now might not be good for you. Fong Ping glanced at him. You didn't learn this habit of leaving people hanging, did you? Yao Qingjun was also speechless. He did not dwell on this anymore. He walked forward and said, "Tell me the details. What opponent is worth so much attention?" Fong Ping. Although no one wanted to admit it, it was a fact that Fong Ping had killed a peak rank 6. He deserved the title of the strongest martial artist of his generation. Fong Ping smiled. "Let's walk and talk. We can also take a look around MCMAU." They did not say much and followed him into the school. They looked around from time to time. When they saw the MCMAU students, they sighed in their hearts. MCMAU students were getting stronger and stronger. Rank 3 and 4 martial artists were a common sight. In other martial arts universities and military schools, rank 1 was the mainstream. There were also many aspiring martial artists. In MCMAU, however, there was not a single aspiring martial artist in sight. Fong Ping saw them looking around and smiled. There are only 23 people in MCMAU who have not entered the martial artist realm. It should be enough before the end of the month. All right, let's not talk about this for now. Having said that, Fong Ping continued, let's talk about the opponents this time. 2 upper stage rank 6 and 3 middle stage rank 6. The expressions on the three's faces changed. Before this, Fong Ping had not made it clear. They did not know that the opponents were so strong. You said they're about the same age as us? Yes. The older ones are 27 or 28 years old. The younger ones are about the same age as you. Fong Ping smiled. Also, their ancestors were all true top-notch powerhouses. This time, I asked you to come because I want you to witness the strength of these top-notch powerhouses' descendants. They're the weakest batch, and they don't have much combat experience. As he said that, Fong Ping added, also, let me add that you should consider whether you want to participate in the challenge. We have a bet with the other party. Fong Ping briefly explained what had happened. At the end, he said, if Li Hansong wins, CCMU will get a divine weapon. If both of you win, each of you will get 1 caddy of cultivation-aiding energy stones. Don't blame me for being stingy. Stingy? Wang Jinyang smiled faintly. You're rich and overbearing now. The black market price of cultivation-aiding energy stones is 1 million per gram. 500 grams, 500 million. Of course, the black market price was the black market price. In MCMU, it was only 30 credits per gram. In the past, credits were hard to earn. Even spending money would cost 900,000. Now that credits were much easier to earn, it was not worth that much. However, that was MCMAU. NMAU and the other universities, including CCMAU, were not as rich and overbearing as Fong Ping. Wang Jinyang shook his head slightly. Thinking back to 2 years ago, things have remained the same, but the people have changed. I'll accept this deal. I also want to see how strong the top-notch powerhouse's descendants are. For this battle, even if Fong Ping did not give him anything, he still wanted to see for himself. Li Hansong scratched his head. This matter, I'm afraid I'll have to ask the university. If Fong Ping gave him a divine weapon, he would be the scapegoat. Fong Ping nodded. Up to you. Old Yao, what about you? Yao Qingjuan's gaze was sharp. No problem. Although I'm only a middle stage rank 5, I also want to see the power of a rank 6 martial artist. Having said that, Yao Qingjun asked again, in the 5-person battle, who's the last person? Qin Fengqing. Him? Yao Qingjun was slightly surprised. Can Qin Fengqing do it? It was not that he looked down on Qin Fengqing. That kid was only a rank 4, right? He broke through to rank 5. His celestial bridge has also mutated. Of course, we don't expect him to win. He's just a bystander. Even if he loses, it'll make the other party look better. We're all going there to win. Everyone burst out laughing. Wang Jinyang was slightly surprised. He really made the celestial bridge mutate? He spent 6 caddies of energy stones. The few of them shut up? He must be crazy. Had MCMU become so rich now? They looked at each other, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Yao Qingjun knew a little. After all, he was in the catacombs last time. He just did not expect Qin Fengqing to spend so many energy stones. Fong Ping did not say much about Qin Fengqing. He said, Ironhead has reached peak rank 5. His winning rate is not low. Brother Wang, you and old Yao should take it easy. Wang Jinyang and Yao Qingjun were both middle stage rank 5 now. Yao Qingjun had only broken through to middle stage. He had not even stabilized his rank. However, his mentality was not weak. He could not be treated as a typical middle stage rank 5. After hearing what Fong Ping said, both of them nodded. The gap between them was huge. It was not just 1 or 2 small ranks, but a whole big rank. No matter how arrogant they were, they would not underestimate these people. Li Hansong, on the other hand, had to wait for CCMEU's reply. At this moment, he did not say anything. However, after thinking about it, Li Hansong still said, if CCMEU does not agree, then I will not take the divine weapon. I will participate in the battle in my own name. If they did not take the divine weapon, then they would just be sparring. In this way, there were some things that they did not have to consider too much. Fong Ping chuckled. That's fine. Actually, I just want to pull CCMEU along. The former #1 elite school has become much quieter now. The big battle is coming. CCMU still has too many things to consider. They can't let go. Li Hansong was silent. Fong Ping said again, MCMEU is about to have its 6th Grandmaster. Li Hansong became even more bitter. He said in a low voice, Dean Tangi, soon. These few days, the suppression of mentality at the place where Instructor Tang is in closed-door cultivation is getting stronger and stronger. He might break through soon. The other 3 had complicated looks in their eyes. MCMU's strength was growing too fast. 6 high Grandmasters. This time, even the number of them would surpass CCMAU. The title of #1 elite school was now well-deserved, and all this was because in the past 2 years, MCMAU dared to fight. Even if they had offended many people, MCMAU did not hesitate. Even Li Hansong lost his composure. Wang Jinyang was not the only one who felt bitter in his heart. NMU did not even have a Grandmaster. Otherwise, NMU might have been able to get a divine weapon this time. Everyone did not say anything else and continued to wander around the campus. Li Hansong also made a call to CCMAU. Fong Ping did not purposely eavesdrop on the communication, but he still heard Li Hansong's somewhat indignant and angry reply. Li Hansong called for a long time. Finally, he walked over and said in a low voice, I will represent CCMAU in the battle. CCMAU agreed? Li Hansong nodded. I said, Dean Tang is about to break through. This time, MCMU might get 4 divine weapons. If CCMU doesn't agree, then it will be 5. As he said that, Li Hansong added, the Grandmasters are also feeling the pressure. Previously, they only lost the competition between the students. Now, it was not just the students who were losing. When Li Hansong said this news, the Grandmaster powerhouse on the other side of the phone was silent for a long time. Finally, he gave a reply. They would represent CCMAU in the battle. Fong Ping laughed. It's good to feel the pressure. Without it, CCMU is almost done for. Does CCMU still think it's the same as before? As they spoke, the few of them chatted for a while. Fong Ping arranged accommodations for them on campus. The 3 of them went to make their own preparations. A rank 5 against a rank 6. They could not afford to be careless. On this day, the news of the exchange group members and martial arts university students wanting to learn from each other had spread among some people. Capital City. A few powerhouses' auras flashed and disappeared. Very quickly, they moved toward the south. All of this had nothing to do with Fong Ping. After settling Wang Jinyang and the others, Fong Ping did not wander around anymore. He returned to his dormitory. Fong Ping checked his stats once more. Wealth, 51. 8 billion converted vitality. 5,999 calories. 5,999 calories mentality. 899 hertz. 899 hertz. Bones honed. 177 bones, 100%. 29 bones, 90% storage space. 32 cubic meters, plus energy shield. 10,000 wealth/minute. I'm short of almost 50 billion wealth to reach 100 billion. How much wealth can 4 divine weapons bring me? After defeating those guys, I don't know if we can still be friends. Fong Ping really wanted to have a few more friends like this. It was not that he wanted to scam more, but he wanted to understand more things. For example, he did not know about the 108 small territories that Su Zissa mentioned casually. The Southern Territory opening up 26 territories. To them, this news might only be a topic of conversation after a meal. However, to Fong Ping, this news was sometimes more important than money and wealth. It was a pity that he and MCMAU could not come into contact with these now. After all, MCMU was just a school. It had only been established for 61 years. There were a lot of things that no one would tell you if you were not at that level. Whatever. It's best if I don't fail miserably in an easy task. Fong Ping took a deep breath. After all, they were all rank 6 martial artists. He should not treat bean buns like dry food. The night was uneventful. The next day, March 19th, Friday, early in the morning, Fong Ping knocked on Lu Fengru's door. When she saw Fong Ping, the first thing Lu Fengru checked out was the strength of his aura. Then she breathed a sigh of relief. Not bad. Lu Fengru's not too bad made Fong Ping a little depressed. He did not know whether to laugh or cry. It's not about breaking through to rank 6. He could guess what Lu Fengru was thinking. They probably thought that he was here to report the good news that he had entered rank 6. Lu Fengru said calmly, "Do you think I care about you breaking through to rank 6? Who do you think I am?" "I'm a rank 7 martial artist. Would I be worried about you breaking through? Besides, you're my student. I can't wait for you to break through as soon as possible," something like that. Lu Fengru's heart wavered for a moment before she said, "Tell me, what is it?" For the past few days, she had been consolidating her cultivation and had not gone out for a few days. "Follow me to the number 1 field. Later, you can choose which divine weapon is suitable for you. Let's make do with it first. Currently, we don't have any conditions. When we have the conditions in the future, we can tailor-make a divine weapon for you." Lu Fengru did not say anything. She touched his forehead. Did this kid really wake up? He was making fun of her so early in the morning. Go and choose. Which divine weapon was suitable? Did he really think that divine weapons were cabbages? Or perhaps, this kid had decided to steal old man Huang's monster and give it to her, his teacher? Fong Ping did not waste any time. He said immediately, "It's true. After today, MCMU will enter the era of grandmasters with all divine weapons." Fong Ping. Before Lu Fengru could speak, Fong Ping rattled on for a while. Lu Fengru's expression changed again and again. In the end, she did not know whether to be happy or depressed. "Then go and take a look. Be careful." Lu Fengru sighed. In the end, she still had to count on her student to prepare a divine weapon for her. It did not feel good. Besides, Wu Quishan and the rest had not left the Magic City catacombs yet. When they left the catacombs, they would suddenly discover that MCMEU had a few divine weapons. How would that feel? At the same time, the exchange group's bus entered MCMEU campus once again. However, compared to yesterday, there was one more person in the bus today. It was a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 40s. As the middle-aged man listened to the younger generation's discussion, he said softly, "Brother Qinghai, isn't it too careless of the martial arts universities to arrange for a few students to fight with Southern Qi? Star City's martial artists shouldn't have fallen to such a state, right?" When Minister Wang heard this, he chuckled and said, "Brother Li, I still have to warn you not to underestimate these students. The older generation of suppressing Star City's martial artists are all top-notch, including some of the youths. They're also outstanding and among the best. However, Li Fei and the others are still young. Martial arts university students are even younger than them." Minister Wang was silent for a moment. Then he said, "These people, let's not talk about others. Let's talk about Yao Qingjun. He stayed in the Magic City catacombs for more than 2 years. After achieving rank 5, not long ago, he fought more than 40 battles, big and small, and killed more than 50 middle-rank martial artists." The middle-aged man was silent. Minister Wang continued, "Yao Qingjuan's battle record isn't the strongest. Even the weakest, Qin Fengqing, has entered the catacombs more than 50 times in the past few years. Every time, he narrowly escaped death. He's a powerhouse who walked out of a pile of corpses. The middle-aged man's expression was slightly solemn. He turned his head to look at the few juniors who still knew nothing. He said softly, "Let's wait and see. No matter what, he's one rank higher than them." Minister Wang nodded and did not say much. Star City had received the news, and the elders had come. In that case, he had fulfilled his responsibility, lest these people found it unacceptable in the end. Chapter 461. McMao. Field number 1. On the rostrum. Old Manly looked into the distance, frowning slightly. Lu Fengru's brows moved slightly too, saying, 2 rank 8s, 1 rank 7. There's one more rank 8 powerhouse. Old Manly touched his chin, saying, if they fight, it'll be fine if old Wang doesn't intervene. If he does, we won't be able to win. Lu Fengru's expression was ugly. She glanced at him, saying impatiently, what are you thinking about? This fellow, what was he thinking? Old Manly grinned, saying, winning 5 divine weapons. Even those people should feel the pinch. If they really fall out and fight, don't they think about it? This is Magic City. Magic City doesn't mean that they won't dare to do it. Who knows what they're thinking? Anyway, be prepared. As he said that, Old Manly said again, 5 divine weapons, the bet has been set. They're already in MCMAU's pocket. We won't give them away. Beside him, Fong Ping said softly, Instructor, it's not that bad, right? They're all rich people. It's only 5 divine weapons. Only, Old Manly gave him a look. Kid, you're even crazier than me. Ignoring him, Old Manly smiled, saying, we'll talk about it later. At most, we don't want it anymore. It's not a big deal. When you're capable later, rob their lair. Fong Ping said softly, do you know where it is? Around Tying Mountains. Old Manly chuckled, saying, probably over there. I'm not sure where exactly. There should be a lot of them. Don't tell me they're hiding underground? Not necessarily. Old Manly said faintly, a rank 9 paragon has some capabilities. Maybe it's beyond our expectations. You know about the mentality barrier. When they're a rank 9 paragon, do you think they can seal off an area? Fong Ping's expression changed slightly, muttering, it's possible. Now that you mention it, I'm reminded of some myths and legends. You know about the blessed grotto heaven, right? You said before that there are some rank 8 golden bodies hidden in the sect world. Do you think they're also hidden in a place like this? After all, if there are powerhouses hiding, although the sect is still mysterious, a powerhouse like you should be able to sense them when they get close. They can't hide their aura forever like mice, right? Old Manly shook his head and said, don't look into it too deeply. If you do, you'll find out that there are too many secrets. If there really is such a place, doesn't it mean that the sect also has a 9th grade paragon? You have to know that martial arts universities have only risen in the modern era. Since ancient times, the sects have always been respected. Nowadays, some hidden rank 9 paragons can't possibly be from martial arts universities, right? I think some of them might be from a sect. Old Manly muttered, that's true. Forget it, I don't care anymore. Even if you know all this, it's useless. Don't tell me you still want to go to them and dig up some treasures. Fong Ping laughed. I don't have that ability now. Old Manly glanced at him. So, you really want to go when you become capable in the future? After chatting for a while, Old Manly said, he's here. What's your arrangement? Qin Fengqing first, Yao Qingjun second, Wang Jinyang third, Li Hansong fourth, me last. Old Manly nodded slightly and did not say anything. He stood up and said, let's go and see if the other party's elders are here. I'm still very curious about these people. The ranking list doesn't seem to have their names. Lu Fengru stood up at the same time and walked down the stage together. She was also a little curious about these people. That's Li Chongxing? Liemo took a look from afar and raised his eyebrows slightly. Not rank 8. He condensed a golden body in advance. Interesting. Liemo smiled and looked at Lu Fengru. After a while, he said, that's Lu Jin's daughter? Minister Wang nodded and said, that's her. I didn't expect that. She's already so old. In the blink of an eye, she has also entered rank 7. Liemo sighed. Time flies. Time is merciless. He looked young, but in reality, he was from the same generation as Lu Jun. Back then, he had also interacted with Lu Jun. It was not surprising that he recognized Lu Fengru. Star City was not isolated from the world. It was just that he had not been to Magic City for many years. MCMU's powerhouses also rarely went to the north. Otherwise, they would have met each other. Very soon, both parties met. Seeing Liemo, Lu Fengru's eyes moved. She suddenly said, "I've seen you before." Liemo smiled lightly and nodded. "It's been 30 years. It's almost that many years. Back then, when your father brought you to West Mountain, we met." As he said that, Liemo smiled and said, "Congratulations. I didn't expect that in the blink of an eye, the little girl from back then has also become a rank 7. Lu Fengru nodded slightly and did not say much. Minister Wang saw this and smiled. "Let me introduce everyone. This is MCMU's Dean Li Chongxing and Dean Lu Fengru. This is Star City's Liemo." Liemo took the initiative to speak. "Liemo," Old Man Li suddenly said, "I heard my teacher mention it once. Almost 50 years ago, not many years after MCMU was founded, a genius martial artist came to challenge him. His name is also Liemo. Yes, it's me." Liemo did not deny it. Then he said with some emotion, "I didn't expect that after 50 years, martial artists from Star City would come to MCMU again." Old Man Li smiled and said, "The result is the same." Liemo looked at him deeply and smiled faintly. "I was defeated back then. However, how many people are like him?" MCMU's old vice-chancellor might not be famous, but he was a true prodigy martial artist. He took over MCMU at a young age and led MCMU step by step to become stronger. His own cultivation was actually delayed. Otherwise, he might have achieved rank 9 long ago. Old Man Li did not deny what the other party said. His longevity sword was also considered a prodigy of his generation. Compared to his teacher, there was still a big gap. Not paying attention to this, Old Man Li said again, "Star City? Haven't you always been secretive and hidden? Why are you making it public this time?" Liemo chuckled and said, "You may have misunderstood. Star City is not hidden from the world, nor is it isolated from the world. We have our own mission. Everyone is just doing their job. The reason why we don't move around in the outside world is not because we want to escape like you think." Before this, Vice-Chancellor Wu of your school brought up this matter. She must be somewhat dissatisfied. However, I still want to say that the so-called seed preservation plan is only to give some children a little hope, to give a few old ancestors a little comfort. Actually, this plan has been going on for many years. Who would abandon their homeland and wander around until they are in despair? Nowadays, many people actually came out from Star City. They are all seeds of the seed preservation plan back then. I am one of them. Of course, you may think that I can't represent anything, but Commander Li Jun from the military department should be enough to prove a lot of things, right? Old Man Li's expression changed. He said in a low voice, "Commander Li came from Star City?" "That's right. Speaking of which, he is somewhat related to me." Liemo smiled and said, "It's not just Commander Li Jun. Actually, there are many people from the military department who also came from Star City. These people were also part of the people who ran away in your eyes. But now, they're also fighting on the front lines. To give some juniors a little hope so that they will not despair. When they reach that level, they will naturally make their own choices. Actually, many of the seeds have killed more enemies than you have. Today, I said so much because I don't want us to be divided. Everyone's goal is the same." Old Man Li said indifferently, "You don't have to explain so much to us. You've lived for so long. What can't you see?" The Vice-Chancellor's anger earlier was not because of this. Liemo chuckled. "That's for the best. MCMAU is a famous school after all. All these years, it has nurtured countless martial artists. If you really have any complaints, we can all sit down and have a good talk to avoid internal strife." Old Man Li chuckled. "That won't be necessary. MCMAU is not the kind of people who can't see the big picture." The Grandmaster Powerhouse's conversation was not made public. Instead, they set up a mentality barrier. Fong Ping did not care. He did not eavesdrop this time. He would naturally know when he asked Old Man Li and the others. At this moment, Fong Ping was chatting with Jiang Chao and the others. He introduced Wang Jinyang and the others. Li Fei and the others did not care too much. No matter how much they introduced them, they were only rank 5 martial artists. No matter how famous they were, no one from the martial arts universities could beat Fong Ping. Even Fong Ping and the others did not care too much, let alone those who were weaker than Fong Ping. After a brief conversation, Jiang Chao said impatiently, "When are we competing? Who's the first one on your side? Hurry up and finish the fight. Baldy, prepare more energy fruits. I want to eat them after the fight." Qin Fengqing was currently holding an A-class Changdao in his hand. He did not have time to deal with his fatty earlier. He had been holding his saber in a daze. After hearing Jiang Chao's words, Qin Fengqing suddenly grinned. "Are you in such a hurry to die?" TSK. Jiang Chao looked indifferent. Beside him, Su Zissa tugged at him. "Don't be so ungentlemanly." Jiang Chao pursed his lips. Qin Fengqing grinned. "I'm also the first one. Fatty, do you know? These guys don't think highly of me. They say that I'm the weakest and want me to go first. But I'm thinking, I'm weak. It's not a big problem to beat a fake rank 6 like you. Don't you think so?" "You," Qin Fengqing interrupted. "Stop talking nonsense. You want to finish the fight as soon as possible. I want it too. I haven't beaten anyone up in a long time. Do you all think that I, Qin Fengqing, am weak?" Qin Fengqing glared at Fong Ping and the rest, dissatisfied. "You're all looking down on me, aren't you? I, Qin Fengqing, will prove it to you today." Fong Ping ignored him. He glanced at the grandmasters beside him and smiled. "When the grandmasters are done talking, we'll start. Everyone, don't be impatient. There's no rush." As soon as he said that, the grandmasters stopped talking. Liemo glanced at Fong Ping and the rest, then at Li Fei and the rest. He said lightly, "Fight well." "Yes." Li Fei and the rest responded hurriedly. Old Man Li chuckled. "Fong Ping, don't ruin the reputation of martial arts universities. Do your best." "Understood." At this point, the friendly match had officially begun. Fong Ping nodded at Li Fei and the rest, then left with Wang Jinyang and the rest. It was not convenient for everyone to mingle during a match. Sometimes, it was not convenient for others to overhear their conversations. Both parties separated and walked to the 2 sides of the rostrum. When they reached the resting area, Fong Ping suddenly turned to look at Qin Fengqing. "Although I didn't expect you to win, even if you lose, you can't lose too badly. Yesterday you said a bunch of tough words. Today, you were defeated so easily. You're the one who's embarrassed." The smile on Qin Fengqing's face gradually faded. Very quickly, it became playful again. He grinned. "Fong Ping, do you really think that I, Qin Fengqing, only know how to run?" Fong Ping chuckled. "Are you trying to prove it to me?" No. Qin Fengqing shook his head and smiled. "What's the point of proving it to you? I don't need to prove myself to anyone. I just want to let myself know that I'm the strongest. No one is stronger than me. Then I'll wait and see." "You just wait and see." Qin Fengqing's face was full of arrogance. He caressed the Changdao in his hand lightly and chuckled. "If some people didn't mutate, I would have killed 10 of them. How dare they be so arrogant in front of me? Qin Fengqing, saber. Sooner or later, we'll chop them until they call us daddy. Isn't that right?" Fong Ping said nothing. Wang Jinyang and the rest ignored him. "You've said so many harsh words. If you get beaten up badly later, it'll be embarrassing." At this moment on the platform, Minister Wang walked out and said, "We're all martial artists. This is also a private duel. There's no need for so many rules. Both sides will take turns to fight until all 5 people on one side are defeated. Next, whoever wants to fight, just come out." As soon as he finished speaking, Qin Fengqing leaped and landed on the field. Jiang Chao, on the other hand, was leisurely eating an energy fruit as he walked down the resting area. He chuckled. "Looking for a fight so soon?" Qin Fengqing did not speak. But his vitality was boiling in an instant. It was vitality, not vitality. The Qin Fengqing at this moment was different from his usual frivolous self. His expression was cold and stern. Zhang Chao's movements paused slightly. He swallowed the energy fruit in one gulp, but did not take out the remaining energy fruits to eat. He walked toward the field quietly. Resting area. Fang Ping raised his eyebrows. Honestly, I've known him for so long, but I've never seen him fight in the arena. When I went to the catacombs with him, this guy didn't put in much effort. If he could win, he fought. If he couldn't, he ran. What left the deepest impression was that he ran very fast and was very slippery. Tell me, how far can he fight? Fang Ping had never seen Qin Fengqing fight in the arena. He had seen Qin Fengqing and CLA fight, but they were all from the same school. Qin Fengqing and CLA's fight was also a real duel. It was not like Fang Ping and the others, who also fought with all their might during the championship. Wang Jinyang squinted slightly. Don't underestimate him. This guy is very ruthless. If he really wants to fight, he won't be weak. When I was peak rank 1, my bone marrow force had already recovered, and I was twice honed. He had only honed once. When we fought, I was almost killed by his saber. CLA was not as good as him. I fought CLA for 3 minutes. I fought him for 6 seconds. Fang Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. When martial artists fought, it did not mean that the longer they fought, the more powerful they were. If the winner was decided in 6 seconds, it meant that there was either a huge difference in strength between both parties, or it was extremely dangerous, where life and death could be decided easily. Wang Jinyang's words clearly did not mean to belittle Qin Fengqing. When they went to the catacombs, he was a rank 4 while Qin Fengqing was only a rank 3. Wang Jinyang did not think that the other party was a burden, which was enough to prove everything. Beside him, Yao Qingjun also said in a low voice, he's doing very well in the Magic City catacombs, running wherever there's danger. I've seen him come back with heavy injuries more than once or twice. This guy's personality is not very likable, but his strength is not bad. Then I'll really have to take a good look today. Fang Ping's interest was piqued. Wang Jinyang and Yao Qingjun were both arrogant people. Although they did not show it, it was a fact. If they felt that Qin Fengqing was not weak, then he was definitely not weak. Fang Ping really did not have much of an idea. He only knew that this guy, Qin Fengqing, was bold. That was enough. In the middle of the field, the killing intent on Qin Fengqing's body became heavier and heavier. On the opposite side, Zhang Chao's expression gradually turned solemn. It seemed that he had underestimated this baldy. He was a middle stage rank 6, while the other party was only early stage rank 5. The gap was huge, more than 1 rank. On the rostrum, seeing the situation, Minister Wang suddenly shouted, "Begin!" As soon as the words left his mouth, Qin Fengqing stomped on the ground fiercely. The ground collapsed instantly. Qin Fengqing was like a ferocious tiger pouncing on its prey, appearing in front of the other party in an instant. Zhang Chao was not standing still. When Qin Fengqing charged over, Zhang Chao also stepped into the air. His chubby figure did not seem clumsy at all, kicking toward Qin Fengqing's head in the air. With this kick, Zhang Chao's boots exploded with a dazzling light. Even the air exploded from the kick. In front of his boots, a tornado-like energy and vitality fluctuation rolled up, sweeping toward Qin Fengqing's entire body in an instant. Qin Fengqing did not hesitate at all. Without even looking, he charged straight into the tornado. In the rest area on the other side, Su Zissou exclaimed softly, "Why didn't this baldy evade?" Zhang Chao's kick, just now, was not without technique. This was a custom-made battle technique. The tornado-like energy and blood energy formed a whirlpool, and when it cut into a person's body, it was not the slightest bit weaker than an alloy weapon cutting into the flesh. Why didn't Qin Fengqing evade? He knew that there was a huge gap between his strength and the other party's. Moreover, the other party had a pair of god weapon boots. All his strength was probably in his legs. If he were to fight a protracted battle and evade battle, he might lose very badly in the end. What did these people lack? Ruthlessness. This was also the other party's only weakness. Once the combat technique was used, Jiang Chao probably did not expect that the baldy opposite him not only did not evade, but also charged straight at him without even blinking. Just as Su Zissou exclaimed, Qin Fengqing's figure had already rushed through the vortex. His clothes were instantly torn, and his arms were instantly covered with countless cuts. However, he was wearing a rank 6 beast inner armor, so his torso was not injured. Qin Fengqing did not care about his injuries at all. As soon as he rushed out, before Jiang Chao had time to change his move, his Changdao was already ready. With a flash of cold light, he slashed down instantly. Bang! A loud noise was heard. The moment the Changdao slashed down, Jiang Chao also hurriedly blocked it. He kicked at the Changdao, causing violent sparks to erupt. In the collision, Jiang Chao took a small step back. Qin Fengqing, on the other hand, suffered the greater impact, but he did not retreat at all. A flush flashed across his face. With a roar, he wielded his saber and slashed madly. Boom, boom, boom. A series of explosions were heard. Qin Fengqing did not let up. With his early-stage rank 5 strength, he forcefully suppressed Jiang Chao. In the resting area, Li Fei clenched his fists and shouted, "Fight back!" Li Fei and the others were about to explode in anger. "Fight back! You're a middle-stage rank 6, yet you're being suppressed the moment you arrive. Don't you feel ashamed?" In the middle of the arena, Jiang Chao's expression was also ugly. In a rage, he pushed the Changdao away with one foot and kicked out the energy vortex with the other. Qin Fengqing roared again. His body expanded, and he rushed into the vortex for the second time. This time, as he rushed out, he grabbed Jiang Chao's right foot. His hand was instantly mangled, and the ear-piercing sound of bones rubbing against each other could be heard. Jiang Chao's boots exploded with an even more powerful vitality force, mincing the flesh on his hand. Qin Fengqing laughed sinisterly. He, who had been silent all this while, suddenly grinned and said, "Got you." Before he finished speaking, Qin Fengqing's vitality surged, and his bald head turned blood red. In the next moment, Qin Fengqing gripped his opponent's foot tightly. With his other hand, he swung his saber toward his opponent's neck. Jiang Chao roared. At the same time, a powerful vitality wave exploded from both his legs, mincing the flesh on Qin Fengqing's left hand. The vitality was still spreading, heading toward his arm. With his other leg, he kicked sideways in the air, flipped his body, and kicked toward his Changdao. At this moment, Jiang Chao was about to curse. "He's crazy. What's the use of grabbing me?" All his strength was in his legs. It was not difficult for him to break Qin Fengqing's arm, not to mention that he did not only have one leg. At rank 6, there was no such thing as falling when both legs moved at the same time. They were all people who could fly. Flight step was a basic skill. Just as he minced Qin Fengqing's arm with one leg and kicked toward the Changdao, Qin Fengqing was smiling brightly. On his bald head, the blood-red color became even more intense. At the moment when both his legs erupted, Qin Fengqing pulled his leg with all his might. Both of them were a little closer. At this moment, the big bald head was completely blood-red. Before many people could react, Qin Fengqing's head crashed into Jiang Chao, who had just gotten closer. At this moment, it was not his head that crashed into him. It was a saber. In the rest area, Fang Ping stood up abruptly. His expression was solemn, and he growled, "You're courting death." Even if Jiang Chao, a rank 5 martial artist who had yet to forge his skull and a middle-stage rank 6 martial artist, was in a state where his vitality was extremely dense, crashing into a rank 6 martial artist with his head, was this not courting death? Just his vitality defense alone might not be able to break through. Beside him, Wang Jinyang's expression was solemn as he muttered, "This bastard is using his body to forge a saber. He might be able to break through the defense." Before he could finish his sentence, Qin Fengqing's head had already crashed into Jiang Chao's slightly plump belly. Boom! A loud explosion was heard. Jiang Chao spat out a mouthful of blood. His right leg had also completely minced Qin Fengqing's left arm into white bones. His left leg had even sent the Changdao flying with a kick. However, Qin Fengqing did not care at all. Using himself as a saber, his head slammed into Jiang Chao's belly crazily. Every time they collided, both of them spat out blood. His speed was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, Qin Fengqing roared crazily again as Jiang Chao swung his fist at him, slamming his head into the other's belly. Jiang Chao felt like his liver and intestines were being torn apart. It was so painful that tears were about to fall. Blood continued to spurt out of his mouth. For a moment, the pain slowed down his counterattack. As soon as he slowed down, Qin Fengqing did not hold back. His bloody head continued to slam into Jiang Chao madly. After who knew how long, Qin Fengqing suddenly took a step back and yelled, "Surrender!" The entire arena was silent. At this moment, Qin Fengqing was drenched in blood. His left arm was bone white, and the flesh on his head was also tumbling. The fellow shook his head, not caring at all. After a roar, he walked to the side and picked up the Changdao, cursing, "Mother asterisk cur. You have the inner armor to protect you. Otherwise, I would have slammed straight through your stomach. Let's see if you can still play ball." "Forget it. I'm not fighting anymore. I'll spare your life." On the other hand, Jiang Chao did not have the attitude of a victor. He was half kneeling on the ground, his face covered in tears. Mother asterisk cur. This fellow had smashed his intestines into pieces. The most important thing was that after the collision, the other party surrendered. What was this? Qin Fengqing walked to the resting area valiantly and in high spirits. Jiang Chao was still half kneeling on the ground, holding his stomach and moaning softly. Lunatic, Jiang Chao's injury was not too serious. To a rank 6 martial artist, this kind of injury was nothing. The important thing was that it really hurt to the bone. He did not even have the chance to unleash his full strength, and the fight was over. Qin Fengqing ran away because after the collision, Jiang Chao was only slightly injured. At least that was how Qin Fengqing saw it. Jiang Chao's injury was not light. If the fight went on and Jiang Chao reacted, he would be crushed on the ground. Because of this fellow took the initiative to attack for a while before surrendering. From the moment the two of them exchanged blows until Qin Fengqing surrendered, it took less than 10 seconds. The loser walked away arrogantly, but the winner was kneeling on the ground, holding his stomach and moaning. At this moment, Li Fei and the others' expressions were extremely ugly. Something even more embarrassing happened. As soon as Qin Fengqing left, Jiang Chao also walked back, holding his stomach. Seeing this, Li Fei said angrily, "You're the winner. My intestines are broken. It hurts." Jiang Chao was in so much pain that he did not want to fight anymore. There were still a few people after all. Li Fei and the others were furious, but there was nothing they could do. They could only watch as this fellow walked back to the resting area. On the other side, Qin Fengqing, covered in blood, was talking and laughing with Fang Ping and the others as if nothing had happened. Li Fei and the others' faces flushed red instantly. This was 2F asterisk king embarrassing. Chapter 462. Fang Ping and the rest chatted loudly, laughing and chatting. In reality, Qin Fengqing was about to curse. After a few jokes, he scolded in a low voice, "Give me some healing pills." Fang Ping ignored him and looked at Wang Jinyang, saying, "He used his body to forge a saber. Does that mean he used a certain part of his body to forge a weapon?" "Yes." "He forged his brain, right?" "Yes." "He didn't hone his skull. If he wants to strengthen his brain, he'll have to hit his head against steel every day. This is the most suitable method of forging, right?" "More or less." Fang Ping understood. "No wonder. I was wondering why his brain was getting dumber. So that's the reason." Qin Fengqing's expression was dark. He gritted his teeth and said, "I did hit steel. You're not convinced?" Speaking of which, Fang Ping was right. This guy thought too much. Qin Fengqing cursed in his heart. These guys must be crazy. I used my body to forge a saber. Shouldn't these guys admire me? If it was someone else who knew how he trained his brain, they would probably admire him to the extreme, right? It was so sad to hang out with these guys. Qin Fengqing lamented in his heart. That was right. It was common for these guys to get hurt. It was just hitting their head against steel. It was nothing. This guy, Fong Ping, seemed to have been beaten into a skeleton. It was a pity he did not see it. That kind of injury where his flesh and blood completely collapsed was like a game to him. The pain was unimaginable to ordinary people. If it were those guys opposite him, Qin Fengqing's eyes showed a hint of contempt. Although this bastard Fong Ping was always fooling him, compared to these guys, he was a tough guy among tough guys. If it were them, they would probably die from the pain. Qin Fengqing was still thinking. Fong Ping sighed. Grow some brains. Qin Fengqing's expression was ugly. I won. You won? Fong Ping was speechless. Which eye of yours saw you win? He was too lazy to say more. Fong Ping sighed. How long will it take for you to recover from this injury? Give me some good pills. Half a month? If not, at least more than a month. Are you an idiot? Fong Ping was helpless. He said in a low voice, there are 2 rank 8s on the rostrum. He was a big shot from the Ministry of Education. As a student, he could just call him teacher. If you took your skeletal hand and swung it a few hundred times until it was about to fall off, do you think Minister Wong would care if he used up a little bit of imperishable substance? It wasn't a serious injury, so he could probably recover in a day. If he doesn't save you, you won't leave. You'll just stand beside him with your skeletal arms raised. Is he embarrassed, or are you embarrassed? Do you care about losing face? Mixing some of the imperishable substance could not only heal injuries, but it could also strengthen one's body. How great would that be? Idiot, you still have the time to brag to us, and you still have the face to ask me for healing pills? Fong Ping cursed. Realization dawned on Qin Fengqing's face. Holy shit! Fong Ping, this cunning bastard, was indeed cunning. Although he was also very smart and thick-skinned, now it seemed that he was still lacking a little bit compared to Fong Ping. Qin Fengqing stood up and was about to run when Fong Ping shouted, "Wait!" Qin Fengqing tilted his head, looking confused. "Do you see that fatty over there?" Qin Fengqing glanced at Jiang Chao and said disdainfully, "I saw it, a coward." "Are you an idiot?" Fong Ping cursed again and said in a low voice, "He's rich. He's rich. Look at him. What is he doing?" Qin Fengqing took a look and could not help but gulp. That bastard was taking pills, eating energy fruits, and then F*CK. He even drank a small drop of life essence. This fatty had suffered such a small injury, yet he was so wasteful. He must be crazy. Fong Ping sighed. If you don't fight, we won't be friends. Although you beat him up, these second-generation brats admire those tough guys the most. Not the way you are now, but the way you were just now. Go over and praise him, but don't be too obvious. You know what you should say. Have an attitude of, if you don't fight, support him, then vomit 3 liters of blood. These guys look so rich, it shouldn't be a problem to freeload some pills for free, right? We're poor. I'm fine. But what do you, Qin Fengqing, have? Do you still care about this little bit of face? If you build a good relationship with these guys, their families are all rich. Maybe in the future, Qin Fengqing, rank 5 to rank 6 resources will all be given away by them. Right, I think that little girl, Su Zissou, is more soft-hearted. Put your main target on her, kid. If it doesn't work out, see if you can sell your body and hook up with her. If she really hooks up with you, you'll have a big backer in the future. As for Zhou Qiyu, cough cough, if you're so capable, you can take all of them. I'm too lazy to care about this. Most people would probably start cursing at this moment. What kind of person did he think Qin Fengqing was? However, Qin Fengqing rubbed his chin, pondered for a moment, and asked in a low voice, "That? I said before that I'm very rich. Isn't that destroying my image?" Fong Ping said indifferently, "Just say that no matter who wins or loses this time, you'll donate everything you have to MCMAU. It's easy for a man not to carry extra wealth." Is that so? Qin Fengqing understood. In the next moment, without Fong Ping's guidance, he walked toward the opposite side valiantly and in high spirits. Wang Jinyang and the others glanced at Fong Ping. After a while, Wang Jinyang said faintly, "You never speak the truth." Fong Ping sneered. "Don't give me that." Let me ask you, if there's a girl on the other side who has taken a fancy to you, and her old ancestor has promised to help you find your instructor, help you revitalize NMAU, and ask you to sell your body, will you do it? F***CK. Lao Wang's reply was very straightforward. After thinking for a moment, he said, looks like I have to give them a good beating later. Let's beat them up first. If you don't have any ability, they won't look up to you. If you beat them up and then express your goodwill, these people might even treat you as a hero. As for selling his body, whatever, why would men care about such things? If he could really persuade their ancestor, all of this wouldn't be a problem. Off to the side, Yao Qingjun snorted coldly. A few scum of the martial arts universities. Li Hansong said thoughtfully, I think Qin Fengqing still has a chance. Old Wang, you're a little lacking. I think I'm not bad too. But what if a guy takes a fancy to us? Cough, cough, cough. Fong Ping almost choked to death. Ironhead, this fellow, had been corrupted. What a lame joke. On the other side, seeing Qin Fengqing walking over fiercely, Li Fei and the others' expressions turned ugly. Was he here to show off? A few of them glared fiercely at Jiang Chao, who was still stuffing his face. It was all this bastard's fault, making a fool of himself. Qin Fengqing walked over. Seeing that everyone was staring at him coldly, he suddenly looked at Jiang Chao and said mildly, Fatty, you're slightly stronger than I thought. I thought I could win, but I didn't expect to still lose. Jiang Chao was a little confused. He raised his head and looked at him. Qin Fengqing continued, you stepped down early, so you have some self-awareness. I'm not a ruthless person to my own people. Yao Qingjun came from the military department and killed people like flies. It's normal for him to kill you straight away when he steps up. I like people like you who have self-awareness. From now on, I'll treat you as half a friend. You didn't hit me hard? Jiang Chao was stunned. He wanted to cry, but had no tears. So, you weren't ruthless before? Qin Fengqing said disapprovingly. You call this ruthless? Under normal circumstances, when I meet martial artists like you who are stronger than me, I'll self-destruct the celestial bridge and kill one by one. But considering that you guys aren't too bad, I'll let it go this time. The few of them were stunned. We were just sparring. Sparring, understand? Seeing that they were looking at him, Qin Fengqing shouted, there's no sparring in the ring. On the ring, it's a battle of life and death. Don't think that ring battles are for fun. When martial artists fight, accidents happen everywhere. Treat every battle, whether it's ring battles, sparring battles, or anything else, as a battle of life and death. With your mindset, once you leave your elders, you'll die sooner or later. If you guys don't die, I'm afraid you'll never understand this principle. Once he said that, everyone fell silent. Qin Fengqing did not say anything else. He turned to leave, but suddenly his body went limp and blood spurted out of his mouth. Baldy, are you okay? What's wrong? Is his injury acting up? Jiang Chao, you're too ruthless. Stop talking. Do you have any more life essence? Give him some. The crowd was noisy. Someone took out life essence. Qin Fengqing, who was already in a semi-conscious state, almost had his mouth on the other party's bottle. Feed it to me quickly. You're still chatting. On the rostrum, Minister Wang, who was about to announce the second battle, glanced below the stage. His face was stiff. Beside him, Lu Fengru turned her head to the side, not looking over. Old Man Li muttered to himself, how many students are we recruiting this year? The school's resources are a little lacking. We can't recruit too many students. These two people did not seem to see Qin Fengqing, nor did they see that he was seriously injured and dying. Liamo looked at them, then at Qin Fengqing. After a while, he could not help but laugh. MCMU students? Interesting. Before this, Li Mo's face was gloomy. Jiang Chao was beaten off the stage just like that. He only felt that it was embarrassing. But now, it was even more embarrassing. These idiots were really hopelessly stupid. Although he was angry, Liamo still smiled. These kids are all pure and kind. Friendship comes first. Competition comes second. Minister Wang turned a deaf ear to him, pretending that he did not hear his self-consolation. If you say you're pure and kind, then so be it. As long as you're happy. These kids coming to MCMEU was probably their biggest mistake. Ignoring the noisy scene below, Minister Wang shouted, "The second battle begins!" Beside him, Yao Qingjun walked off the stage with his gun. On the other side, Qin Fengqing had finally drunk a drop of life essence. He was ecstatic, but he crawled up and frowned. What a fuss. Why are you guys making a fuss about such a small injury? Let's compete. I'll go up and take a look. We'll talk again if fate wills it. After saying this fellow immediately ran towards Minister Wang. If he could get some imperishable substances, today's battle would not have been in vain. He had earned big. Zhang Xian had not even entered the stage from Li Fei's side when Qin Fengqing was already swinging his bony arm in front of Minister Wang. He reported to Li Changsheng and the others, "Just a small injury. It's nothing serious. It's nothing. I just want to show the Ministry of Education and Martial Arts University's prestige." His hands did not stop moving, almost reaching out to Minister Wang's face. Minister Wang's expression was dark. He did not glare at Qin Fengqing, but at Old Man Li. If the upper beam is not straight, the lower beam will be crooked. What have you guys taught MCMAU? Old Man Li felt wrong too. This is not my fault. If Fang Ping did not instruct me, I would have written my name upside down. Minister Wang cursed in his heart, but this kid was swinging his bony arm in front of him, looking as if he would shake him to death if he did not heal him. Minister Wang felt extremely helpless. He casually shot a golden light at his hand. The flesh on Qin Fengqing's arm began to heal at a speed visible to the naked eye. With that, Qin Fengqing finally calmed down. After he calmed down, this fellow did not return to Fang Ping's side. Instead, he ran to Jiang Chao and the others. Li Mo was about to reach out, but he quickly retracted his hand. Forget it. He would not embarrass himself. It would be good for those kids to learn their lesson. However, Li Mo still said mildly, "This Qin Fengqing is quite cunning." Old Man Li smiled faintly. Qin Fengqing is still very simple. Yes, old man. You have to believe me. Qin Fengqing is a simple child. With your eyesight, you can't even tell who the mastermind is. How can you be a rank bait? Don't embarrass yourself. Qin Fengqing continued to infiltrate the enemy's inner circle. On the field, the second battle had already begun. On Li Fei's side, there were 3 girls. Zhang Xian was the only one who had entered middle stage rank 6. This woman used a divine weapon longsword. Having learned her lesson from Jiang Chao earlier, Zhang Xian unleashed her big move the moment she came up. After the explosion, she hurriedly left the spot. She was worried that Yao Qingjun would forcefully break through her big move. Just like Qin Fengqing, she directly engaged in close combat. It was fine for Jiang Chao to be hit, but she was a girl. It was too embarrassing to be hit like that. As a result, as soon as she left, Yao Qingjun unleashed his mentality directly. It was not only his mentality. His powerful mentality was mixed with a thick smell of blood. The nauseating smell of blood quickly erupted from his long spear. At this moment, countless scenes of killing on the battlefield appeared in Jiang Xian's mind. Broken limbs were everywhere. Blood, intestines, and brain matter splattered everywhere. Countless corpses piled up like a mountain. At this moment, Jiang Xian's movements stopped for a moment. Her face turned pale, revealing a hint of struggle. She had never seen such a scene before. While her mind was still rejecting this scene, Jiang Xian could already smell the stench of blood. At this moment, the stress response of a rank 6 powerhouse manifested. Jiang Xian regained her senses instantly. Yao Qingjun's figure was already in front of her. At this moment, Yao Qingjun was like a god of death. His entire body exuded a thick smell of blood. His gaze was so cold that the moment Jiang Xian met his gaze, she could not help but want to avoid his murderous gaze. Kill! A cold, murderous shout mixed with mentality oscillation struck Jiang Xian's mind once again. Jiang Xian sensed danger. She waved her long sword with all her might and stabbed at Yao Qingjun. Yao Qingjun raised his long spear. The oscillation force on the long sword made his body tremble. The long spear also let out a sorrowful cry. However, Yao Qingjun continued to shout coldly and violently, "Die!" From the beginning to the end, Yao Qingjun was cold, cruel, and full of blood. From Fang Ping's perspective, Yao Qingjun was purely scaring a child. In the resting area, Fang Ping sighed. "Old Yao is too much. If you want to fight, then fight. Why are you scaring people?" Killing intent, blood. These things were normal after killing too many people. Others aside, when Fang Ping fought with the rank 3 Ling Yi, the killing intent that Ling Yi unleashed had dispersed his mentality. Although the capital city catacombs was relatively peaceful, there were still many battles. Ling Yi, that woman, was also a master who went to the catacombs all year round. She also killed people like flies. For some martial arts university powerhouses, unleashing these bloody auras during a fight was completely useless. They had been to real battlefields. Fang Ping, a master who went to the catacombs only a few times, had experienced a large-scale battle between middle and low ranks. There were countless deaths and injuries. Who would care too much about this? However, it had to be said that Yao Qingjuan's killing intent combined with his mentality was really a super killer move for Jiang Xian. At this moment, both of them had already fought many times in midair. The sound of spear and sword colliding was endless. However, the sound of Jiang Xian's sword was intermittent. It would often be interrupted. Every time it was interrupted, it was accompanied by Yao Qingjuan's roar. This guy's vitality was not as good as his opponent's. His body's strength was not as good as his opponent's. His weapon was also slightly inferior. In every collision, he was actually at a disadvantage. His arm that was holding the spear was already a bloody mess. However, every time Jiang Xian was intimidated by his mentality and killing intent, Yao Qingjun would attack crazily with his spear. Every strike was filled with the smell of blood. For a moment, he completely suppressed Jiang Xian, hitting her until she kept flying backward. Sometimes, even when Jiang Xian counterattacked, seeing that her sword was about to stab him, Yao Qingjun did not evade. He held the spear and stabbed it at the other party's head, looking like he wanted to die together with her. Jiang Xian did not dare to die together with him. She was extremely aggrieved and could only retreat. At this moment, her mentality was the same as Jiang Chao's just now. These people were all lunatics. On the rostrum, Liamo no longer said anything. His expression was slightly ugly. Was he going to lose again? Although he did not lose earlier, to him, it was no different from losing. Now Jiang Xian was being suppressed the whole time. She was being suppressed by someone who was not as strong as her. Yao Qingjuan's mentality could not achieve mentality-vitality fusion, so the damage he could do to a middle-stage ranked 6 martial artist was limited. As long as Jiang Xian's willpower was strong, she would not be affected too much. Unfortunately, Jiang Xian was a girl who had not experienced many hardships. Although she was strong, she was only in her 20s. In her 20s, she might not have experienced as much as the average girl in society. Where did her willpower come from? After so many times, Jiang Xian's mentality had long been out of balance. At this moment, she was yelling in midair. Her longsword kept exploding with powerful energy and vitality waves, but it was somewhat out of order. No matter how powerful the move was, it still had to hit the opponent. Yao Qingjun, who was previously brave and invincible, was now incomparably calm as he provoked the other party into disorder. He did not attack anymore, focusing mainly on dodging. Even when Jiang Xian's sword aura was slashing his body into a bloody mess, Yao Qingjun did not bat an eyelid. He slowly led the other party to continue unleashing big moves, provoking her emotions. The destructive sword aura kept exploding in midair. Yao Qingjun did not go far. He wandered around the area of the explosion, lest the other party stopped unleashing her attacks when he left. Seeing this, Liamo sighed softly and shook his head slightly. She was probably going to lose. This martial artist from the military school was wearing down Jiang Xian's willpower, draining her vitality and destroying her drive. If this continued, As long as Yao Qingjun could hold on until Jiang Xiyin was at her weakest, he could unleash a killer move and kill her in one hit. The reality was not out of this peak rank 8 powerhouse's expectations. Jiang Xiyin unleashed dozens of attacks in a row. In the end, Yao Qingjun, who had previously fought her head-on, was now evading her attacks. This made her extremely angry, causing her to lose her sense of propriety. Just as Jiang Xiyin was about to unleash another attack and take a breath, Yao Qingjun, who had been evading all this time, moved. The next moment, a ripple appeared on the blood-red long spear. Kill! A loud roar resounded through heaven and earth. A dark red light flashed, piercing through the side of the long sword in the blink of an eye, instantly piercing Jiang Xiyin's chest. Bang! A loud noise was heard. Jiang Xiyin flew backward, blood spurting from her mouth continuously. At the same time, her coat was torn apart, revealing an inner armor glowing with gold light. The inner armor collided with the long spear, causing sparks to fly. The next moment, a huge recoil erupted from the inner armor, causing Yao Qingjun's long spear to wail even louder. As for Yao Qingjun, he kept retreating. His footsteps cracked the void, blood dripping from his hands onto the ground. The next moment, Yao Qingjun landed on the ground, creating countless potholes. Opposite him, Jiang Xiyin also fell to the ground, her face filled with grief and indignation. As for her injury, it was not too serious. The long spear did not penetrate the inner armor made from a rank 8 monster's golden armor. The vitality force that permeated it had instead caused Yao Qingjun's own injury to be quite serious. Compared to Jiang Chao, Jiang Xiyin was slightly better. She did not admit defeat and wanted to continue fighting. On the stage, Li Mo sighed. Xiyin, admit defeat. Yao Qingjun did not have the intention to kill. Otherwise, the spear would have pierced her throat, not her chest. Grandpa Li, admit defeat. Jiang Xiyin looked unwilling. She could only say reluctantly, I admit defeat. After saying this, Jiang Xian's face flushed red. She turned and left. Yao Qingjun nodded slightly. Without saying anything, he turned and walked toward the resting area. His injury was not too serious, but his mentality was depleted. If he fought another one, he would be tortured. There was no need for that. After all, there were still a few more powerful characters. He had lost to them before and barely won against Li Hansong. However, Li Hansong was now a peak rank 5, 2 ranks higher than him. If they fought again, he would definitely not be a match for him. Strictly speaking, among the 3 of them, only Wang Jinyang might be on par with him. Fang Ping and Li Hansong would definitely beat him. Yao Qingjun and Jiang Xiyin had both left the stage. Li Fei and the rest no longer looked gloomy. Instead, they looked solemn. Qin Fengqing, who was beside them, added fuel to the fire. We don't want to kill anyone. Yao Qingjun was already going easy on us by not stabbing her in the head. Fatty, you were very wise to leave earlier. Otherwise, he might be soft on women, but he won't be soft on you. He'll pierce your throat and let you bleed. Jiang Chao shrunk his neck and whispered, Baldy, are the 3 at the back stronger? Qin Fengqing chuckled. They're just so. They're just relying on the advantage of their ranks. Fang Ping and Li Hansong are both peak rank 5. For people like us, when we increase a rank, our combat strength will roughly double. If we calculate it, we're only 2 or 3 times stronger than Yao Qingjun. Jiang Chao's face was full of lingering fear. Then, he looked relieved. He patted Qin Fengqing's shoulder and said gratefully, Luckily, my opponent was you. You're only early stage rank 5. Thank you so much. Chapter 463. 2 battles ended. 1 win and 1 loss. Of course, in the arena battles, winning or losing was not important. What was important was who stood on the stage in the end. As soon as Yao Qingjun returned, Fang Ping said in a low voice, Go over there and exchange some feelings. You hit a girl. Aren't you embarrassed? Yao Qingjun's expression darkened. Let's fight. I'm weaker than her. Do you want to go easy on her? Idiot. Go and ask if they have any mentality recovery potions or treasures. I suspect they do. Of course, they're not strong enough. They probably don't have them. Scout for information first. As Fong Ping said that, he lowered his voice and said, also, go and find out if there are any cultivation methods for mentality. Yao Qingjuan's expression changed. There shouldn't be. Otherwise, the government would definitely promote it. Mentality could not be actively cultivated. Under mentality-vitality fusion, it could only grow passively. As your body became stronger, so would your mentality. Of course, places like the Celestiality Pressure Room could also be used to train mentality. However, these were passive methods. When mentality-vitality fusion was achieved, vitality could nurture mentality. At rank 7, the energy inside the Sanjiao Gate could be nurtured. However, this was still a passive method. There was no way to actively cultivate one's mental power. Unlike vitality, Fong Ping and the rest might take pills, eat energy fruits, and use energy stones to speed up their cultivation. In reality, cultivating the methods of honing alone could continuously increase the strength of vitality. It was just that the speed was slower. The energy on Earth was very little in the past. That was why the government did not promote it. This was because normal people could not absorb much energy. Cultivating the methods of honing would easily harm the body. However, as the energy concentration increased, the methods of honing cultivation would probably be promoted to the whole nation soon. At that time, everyone would cultivate. Even if they did not take pills, it would still be enough to replenish the consumption of cultivation. Fong Ping said softly, "It's hard to say. Forget it. You're stupid. It's not easy to get information out of you. I'll ask later." Yao Qingjun kept quiet and sat down directly. "I'm not as cunning as you." Fong Ping glanced at Wang Jinyang, who was preparing to enter the arena. He then looked at the third person with a serious expression. He said softly, "You guys have to be domineering at the front. I'll be the king at the back. Just leave it to me. Don't go easy on them. Even if we lose, let them remember that martial arts university students are not afraid of death and are very strong." Wang Jinyang nodded slightly and said softly, "What exactly do you want?" "I want to make friends with them." They know a lot of things. "I invited you all here for this sparring match, so winning or losing isn't really that important. Of course, since we've raised the stakes, we still have to win. Don't treat this as a simple sparring match. Show us our strength and make friends. Only among geniuses there was a common language. If there was a chance, he would drag them down to the catacombs with him. It can save us a lot of trouble." Wang Jinyang's pupils constricted. He said in a low voice, "Take it easy. If you kill them and anger those experts, you won't be able to handle it." "I know. That's why we should make friends first." As Fong Ping said that, he nodded and said, "You go first." Wang Jinyang didn't say anything else and quickly walked into the field. As for Fong Ping, he glanced at Yao Qingjun and sighed. His personality is still the same. After so many years, he hasn't changed at all. Yao Qingjun frowned and glanced at him. "Are we close?" In fact, they had only met a few times. Beside him, Li Hansong said dryly, "Was he like this in the past?" "Yes, like a blockhead." Fong Ping shook his head and said helplessly, "He doesn't know how to be flexible. Forget it, let's not talk about this." "Fong Ping," Li Hansong hesitated for a moment and said softly, "Did you regain your memories?" Fong Ping smiled and shook his head. "No. Sometimes, some scattered fragments will flash through my mind. Ironhead, don't tell anyone. We're all anomalies. We'll be targeted easily." "I know. I haven't told anyone." Fong Ping thought for a while and said, "What about you? You don't have any memory at all?" "No." Li Hansong smiled bitterly. "Not at all. That's normal. Your strength is still a little low. I'm just referring to the past. The stronger you are, the faster you recover." "Then, what rank were you then?" "Above the peak." Fong Ping's gaze was sharp. "Definitely. At least, that's what I remember." "Forget it. I really can't say any more. If I say any more, there'll be trouble." Having said that, he looked at Yao Qingjun and said, "Old Yao, only us brothers know about what happened today. Don't tell anyone else." Yao Qingjun was speechless. "What are you guys talking about? I don't even know." Yao Qingjun was still gloomy. Li Hansong patted his shoulder and chuckled. "Old Yao, us brothers are of one mind. No matter what happened in the past, in this lifetime, we'll definitely quell the catacombs' threat." Li Hansong's words were sonorous and forceful. What he could not do in his past life, he must do it in this lifetime, so that his resurrection would not be in vain. Yao Qingjun was mentally exhausted. He did not ask much. He nodded and said, "Quelling the catacombs' threat is our common dream." They chatted here. Opposite, Qin Fengqing picked up Jiang Chao's energy fruit and swallowed it, as if he did not care how valuable it was. As he ate, he helped analyze, "You guys are probably going to lose this round." Wang Jinyang, don't be fooled by his silence. His strength is actually slightly stronger than Yao Qingjun's. In the previous championship, he defeated both Yao Qingjun and Li Hansong consecutively. Su Zissou asked curiously, "Nanjiang Martial Arts University doesn't seem famous, right?" "It's not famous. An enemy whose strength isn't that great either. But it's his own business that he's strong." As he said that, Qin Fengqing picked up another fruit and swallowed it. He said casually, "This doesn't taste too good. Do you have anything that tastes better?" Before Jiang Chao could speak, Su Zissou took out some energy fruits from her small bag and said with a grin, "I have some here. They taste pretty good." Qin Fengqing reached out and grabbed a few. After taking a bite, he grinned and said, "They taste pretty good. Fatty, you can't do it. You're only eating this fruit? It tastes terrible. The denser the energy, the better it tastes. Don't you know this?" Jiang Chao said gloomily, "I ate some on the way here. There's not much left now." Qin Fengqing cursed in his heart. "Don't you know how to save some? But these guys are really rich. Divine weapons, inner armor made from rank 8 golden body monster skin armor, energy fruits that they eat as snacks. Every one of them has a lot of pills and life essence on them. They're so king rich that I want to rob them." Thoughts aside, Qin Fengqing said, "If there's a chance next time, I'll bring you to the catacombs. There's a lot of good stuff in the catacombs. The energy mine under the royal city, the life essence of the guardian monster plant. Don't embarrass yourselves with this little bit of life essence. I once snatched a lot of life essence from the hands of a rank 9 monster plant. It's a pity that our instructor was injured, so I could only use it to heal him." This time, even the quiet Jing Nanshi could not help but ask, "You've been to the royal city before?" "Of course." Qin Fengqing smiled and said, "Actually, there's nothing fun there. It's boring." Su Zissou asked curiously, "Didn't they say that the royal city is very dangerous? You're only rank 5, right?" Qin Fengqing smiled and said, "It's dangerous, but as a martial artist, why would we care about this little bit of danger? Martial artists of my generation only fight to pacify the catacombs. If we don't even dare to go to the royal city, what's the point of fighting?" The few of them had complicated expressions. Su Zissou bit her lip and said, "I really envy you guys. Why don't men carry Wu Go and conquer 50 states? Martial artists should be like this, fighting heaven and earth. Fearless. This kind of martial artist is a true martial artist." As soon as she said this, the others were a little sad. Li Fei suddenly gritted his teeth and said, "When we reach peak rank 6, our families will no longer restrict us. We can go wherever we want to." Qin Fengqing cursed in his heart. F*CK, only peak rank 6 are considered adults? Thinking was just thinking. Qin Fengqing did not say it out loud. He said calmly, "Brother Li, if you guys can't go to the catacombs, it should be no problem to come to MCMU to play, right? Next time, don't call your elders. When you go out, it's just the surface area, and you're already bringing along a rank 8 elder. To put it bluntly, Qin Fengqing, don't like this kind of person. Of course, if I really think it's dangerous, I'll go to your place as a guest when I'm free. We can all talk about martial arts together." Li Fei laughed dryly and said nothing. Outsiders were not allowed to enter their place, so it was not easy to answer. However, Qin Fengqing invited them to MCMAU as a guest. If he said he would not let them go to his place, it would be a little cold. Li Fei was silent. Jiang Chao smiled and said, "Baldy, I'll stay in MCMU for a while after this, but you have to treat me with some delicious energy fruits." Qin Fengqing's expression changed slightly. He then shook his head and said, "That won't do. I'll forget about my stock if you guys win it this time. If you don't, I'm going to donate it all to MCMAU. Some of the juniors in MCMAU are lacking in cultivation resources now. I can't treat you guys with them just to satisfy my appetite. It's not that I'm stingy, but the juniors are going to enter the catacombs to fight to the death. It's better to give them a little more to save their lives than to enjoy it personally." Jiang Chao said in surprise, "I didn't know, Baldy. You're quite noble." Qin Fengqing smiled, but did not say anything. He glanced at Fang Ping from the corner of his eyes. "I'm sorry. I've almost used up everything you're going to pretend in the future. Pretend again later? It shouldn't be as effective as my first time. Look, these guys are admiring and worshiping me now. You're the one who asked me to come. I can't do anything about it." On the other side, Fang Ping did not have time to bother with Qin Fengqing for now. On the field, Wang Jinyang had already started fighting with his opponent. Wang Jinyang entered the field with his bone marrow force permeating his body. His saber cut through the void, cutting across the field. When this guy unleashed his full power, he could fight a peak rank 6 for 30 seconds when he was just an early stage rank 5. His ability was definitely not weak. Fang Ping squinted, glanced at his opponent, and said in a low voice, "The more we fight, the more experienced the opponent is." The Sanjiao Gate has already appeared. At this moment, one of the 3 Sanjiao Gates on top of Wang Jinyang's opponent's head was completely sealed. One of the other 2 doors had also been slightly closed. These spoiled brats had been fighting for so long. When this person unleashed his ability, he was stronger than the previous 2. He was not as flustered as Jiang Chao and Qin Fengqing. Li Hansong's expression was solemn. "Did you notice? Their combat techniques are extremely suitable for them. They should be tailor-made for them. I'm afraid old Wang might be in danger." Fang Ping watched for a while and exhaled. Brother Wang is preparing to injure both sides. He's doing this on purpose. Li Hansong rubbed his chin. "I want to try too. If they were injured, perhaps they could be revived." Before this, he did not feel much, but now he realized that after they were injured, they would recover some of their ability. At this moment, Li Hansong felt that being injured was acceptable. Just as the 2 of them finished discussing, in the field, Wang Jinyang unleashed his ability. "Ha!" A loud roar shook everyone's heartstrings. In the next moment, a ring appeared in front of Wang Jinyang. The celestial bridge. Li Fei and the rest's expressions changed. The person fighting Wang Jinyang was also shocked. Was he going to self-destruct? Earlier, Qin Fengqing said that they had encountered a strong enemy and would self-destruct their celestial bridge. He heard it. Martial arts university students were too cruel. Was he going to self-destruct just like that? The person hurriedly flew backward. Wang Jinyang was not doing this to self-destruct. He was not that stupid. In the next moment, Wang Jinyang did something unexpected. This guy grabbed the ring-shaped celestial bridge with one hand and instantly pinched it into a semicircle. No bow. The Changdao in his hand was like a long arrow. On the Changdao, a black vitality light burst out. Wang Jinyang drew the bow and shot. Boom! Wherever the Changdao passed, the air exploded. Fire ignited in the void, igniting the air directly. Fang Ping was stunned. Not only Fang Ping, but everyone present was probably stunned as well. Was this even possible? They had never seen a martial artist who used the celestial bridge as a weapon. Was this guy not afraid of breaking the celestial bridge? On the rostrum, Liamo could not hold it in anymore. He said, "These martial arts university students are not normal." He was not cursing, but they were really not normal. If it was a normal martial artist, based on Wang Jinyang's stance, the celestial bridge would break immediately. However, this kid did not break the celestial bridge. Instead, a golden light flashed on the celestial bridge. Liamo glanced at it and had a rough idea. That was imperishable substance. Using the celestial bridge as a bow, the celestial bridge condensed the martial artist's entire strength. It was extremely strong. As for the Changdao, it was not shot out like a normal long arrow. Wang Jinyang used the saber as an arrow. The Changdao that had left his body was actually performing combat techniques. Yes, the saber was practicing combat techniques. As the Changdao shot out, when it neared the person in the air, it exploded with even more power. Liemo thought of something and suddenly said in a low voice, "I think I've heard of these martial artists before." Minister Wang suddenly added, "Brother Li, does Star Town have this information?" Li Mo's expression changed. He said in a low voice, "No. When the ancestors were chatting in the past, I overheard them once. I think they talked about this. However, I was still young then. I don't remember much. Imperishable substance. How about this? When the ancestors return, I'll ask them again. These people, everyone please pay more attention to them." Minister Wang's expression was uncertain. Old Man Li and Lu Fengru were also silent. Desperate realm powerhouses had talked about these people before. After all, these people had just appeared not long ago. They were very young. Liemo looked young, but in reality, he was already 80 years old. When was he still young? What was that? Old Man Li was silent for a moment. He suddenly said, "Is Star Town really not open to the public?" Liemo was silent. Old Man Li sneered and said lightly, "Fine. It's your home, after all. We old fellows don't care. We just want to let the younger generation know more." Liemo glanced at him. "You're not qualified to call me old fellows." However, he was too lazy to say more. He thought for a moment and said, "Let's wait and see." Star Town was their home. It was also the pure land of the few top-notch powerhouses. After fighting outside for many years, these ancestors were also very tired. Perhaps Star Town's existence was the pure land they wanted to create in their dreams. If outsiders were allowed to enter, this small pure land might no longer be peaceful. This matter was not something he could decide. As they spoke, the Changdao had already descended. Boom! The sound of explosions rang out continuously. Sparks flew everywhere. The middle stage rank 6 powerhouse in the air had also unleashed his full strength. However, he was constantly pushed back by the Changdao slashes. On the ground, Wang Jinyang's tread rose into the air, arriving in front of the other party in an instant. Holding the Changdao, the blood-red glow once again erupted to the extreme. The sound of explosions rang out continuously. Enough! The person opposite was completely enraged. He had enough of being suppressed continuously. Not only was he being suppressed, but the moment the Changdao attacked earlier, the clothes all over his body were shredded. At this moment, other than his inner armor, the rest of his body was covered in saber marks. He was beaten up too badly. The next moment, this person's second half-sealed Sanjiao gate opened with a bang. Within the open Sanjiao gate, an extremely powerful energy emerged. The martial artist, who was already a notch stronger than Wang Jinyang, suddenly unleashed an even stronger vitality force. The spear in his hand also erupted with a dazzling light, sweeping toward Wang Jinyang. Old Wang is so pitiful. Fong Ping mumbled, "You can only blame yourself for being too arrogant," beating the other party until he lost his mind. From middle stage to upper stage rank 6, the second Sanjiao gate had to be sealed. The other party's Sanjiao gate was originally half-sealed. Now that it was opened directly, this fellow could only start sealing it again, suffering heavy losses. Unless it was a last resort, rank 6 martial artists would rarely do something like this. Li Hansong said dryly, "Later, their upper stage won't do the same, right? If the upper stage really opened the Sanjiao gate, he probably would not be able to defeat them. Don't be afraid. You have a copper skull and iron bones. He can't kill you. If he dares to open the Sanjiao gate, you can smash his gate with your head. It's just a competition of ruthlessness. I don't believe that these fellows are really that ruthless." Fong Ping said perfunctorily. At this moment, the battle had already reached the final stage. The other party had opened a half-sealed gate. Under the great increase in strength, he suppressed Wang Jinyang instantly. There was still a gap in strength, and it was not a small one. Wang Jinyang's expression was indifferent. The celestial bridge suddenly appeared again. In the next moment, the celestial bridge grew to its limit. All of Wang Jinyang's vitality erupted, merging into the celestial bridge in an instant. Then, he grabbed the celestial bridge and smashed it toward the other party's Sanjiao gate. The Sanjiao gate was half virtual and half real. Attacks could not hit it. However, at this moment, the celestial bridge was smashed. On the rostrum, the expressions of a few powerhouses changed. The celestial bridge and the Sanjiao gate complemented each other. Other weapons could not attack, but the celestial bridge was an exception. If it collided, whether it was the celestial bridge or the Sanjiao gate that would shatter, they would not be able to accept it. Liamo quickly glanced at Li Chongqing. Old man Li said irresponsibly, "He's not from MCMEU. In other words, so be it if he died. I don't care." Liamo almost died of anger. Beside him, Minister Wang did not say a word. He stretched out his hand abruptly. From a distance of 100 meters, a palm appeared out of thin air. He grabbed Wang Jinyang's celestial bridge and threw it back. A friendly match. Don't overdo it. Minister Wang frowned slightly and said, "Consider it a draw." Wang Jinyang did not utter a word. He withdrew his celestial bridge. The person opposite him looked indignant. Then he gritted his teeth and turned to leave. Motherf asterisk her. Lunatic. He had to be out of his mind to agree to this friendly match. The first thing he did was gamble with his life, treating the celestial bridge and the Sanjiao gate as child's play. What were these guys thinking? Although the other party's celestial bridge might not be able to smash his Sanjiao gate, what if it could? The other party's celestial bridge could be bent into a bow. Who knew if it could be smashed? If it could not be smashed, what if he self-destructed? At this moment, the 3 battles had ended. Li Fei and the others were extremely aggrieved. They could not fight anymore. The other party's ability was obviously not as good as theirs, but they were suppressed in every way. It was really too aggrieving. As for Qin Fengqing, he was still taking big bites of an energy fruit. He casually said, "Don't mind it. This is how we fight. You'll get used to it." Everyone's expressions changed again. Get used to it? How did you guys survive until now? Every battle is like this. How many celestial bridges do you have to blow up? Or could it be that this baldy was bragging? While the others were doubting him, Qin Fengqing acted as if he did not feel it. He added, "Blow up and condense again. It just takes a little more effort. We have experience. We won't die." You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.